Hey everyone, happy Monday. We are on the cusp of Perils in Paradise releasing. I've talked about it many, many times, but this week is my favorite week in Hearthstone. Not even close. The release week of an expansion when people are still, experimenting and trying new things, and the meta is kind of all over the place. I live for it. That's the stuff I love. So I'm very, very excited for this week. I'm very excited for tomorrow. I've mentioned it before, but I took this whole week off work because I'm a degenerate, and I will be streaming every day. So tomorrow I'll be streaming right when the expansion goes live. I think it's either 12 or 1 p.m. Eastern time. I'll have to double check, but I'll be going live probably 12. I'll probably be streaming for 8 hours or something tomorrow. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll also be streaming. I will be streaming earlier as well. I'm probably going to start around 2 p.m. Eastern time. So for all my European viewers, you guys can actually watch me with the sun still out possibly. So yeah, tomorrow, long stream that starts right when the expansion launches. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be also longer streams, and they start early. So yeah, lots of streams this week, lots of videos, lots of content. So hope to see you guys there. But hey, Zenny, Menavat, how you guys doing? I believe I keep getting the names mixed up. I believe it's Svernia from YouTube. How y'all doing? You have a good weekend? Zenny can't wait to see the most degenerate cards get a 3-star rating. Yeah, so I will say, today I'll be reviewing all of the cards in the expansion. I've talked about doing this for a couple weeks now, and I'm mostly in the dark. There was theory crafting this weekend or last week or whenever it was, where select YouTubers and streamers got access to the cards early and were able to, homebrew and theory craft decks and play against each other. I avoided all of that. So outside of the odd card I've seen complained about on Reddit, I don't really know how it went. It's mainly, what's it called? Concierge. I've seen some posts complaining about concierge, but outside of that, I've totally avoided like the theory crafting streams and that whole world. So my ratings are pretty much going in blind. So there might be some ratings I make that already are wrong. We'll have to see. But also, for anyone unfamiliar, I basically put this poll together last week to rate all of the cards, and I posted it to my Discord and had viewers submit their answers. So I had about 20 replies, which is nice because this took a bit of work to put together. So yeah, I had about 20 replies, and I will be going over the results today. So I'll be going over my ratings as well as your guys' ratings, and we'll see kind of how close we are, for the same ballpark or not. And I think it'll be interesting too, because my plan is that in a month or so, I want to go back and look at our ratings again. So I want to look at my rating and your ratings in about a month when the meta's kind of settled, and I want to see how right or wrong we all were. Because I'm sure there's going to be some cards I'm wrong with, you guys are wrong with, we're both wrong with. We'll have to see. But yeah, I love card ratings. I love stuff like this. But yeah, also Sfarenite is you. Call you Svinny. All right, I'll keep that in mind. All right, also, remember I mentioned last time that I played a lot of arenas and opened about 25 packs without legendaries. Then I got 2 in a row. Nice. Geppetto and Whizbang. Oh, it's too bad. I crafted Geppetto for Tendrils. I crafted Geppetto for Tendrils, and then a few weeks later they got nerfed. So that's a bit of a bummer. But Whizbang's always fun, so that's a nice one to open. Also, Pirate Demon Hunter will be the only deck and ladder for the first 3 days until it gets harshly nerfed. Uh-oh. I was definitely worried about pirates. Pirates are one thing I am not really looking forward to, so we'll have to see when we go over the cards. Also, Zenny, thanks for the subscribe. Also, 2-month streak. Nice. Also got that Founders badge. Good for you. Osfold, how's it going? Hello, man whose name is definitely not Paul. Yes, my name is definitely not Paul. And Zach, hey, how's it going? Stream wouldn't show up at first. That's weird. Well, we haven't even got started yet, so, I haven't really missed much. But like I said, I will be going over my ratings for all of the cards. I pretty much avoided all of the theory crafting streams. So outside of Concierge, because I've seen a bunch of threads on Reddit complaining about Concierge, so I know that card is already good. But outside of that, I haven't really seen anything. So everything will be entirely my ratings. I won't really be influenced by YouTube or the meta at all. So like I said, I'm sure there'll be some cards you guys will think I'm already crazy about. We'll have to see. And then I will be going over your guys' ratings. I just have it off to the side here. I didn't make it look pretty or anything, but you can see everyone's responses here, and I got it all averaged out. So I'll be going over that as well. What should anyone that submitted the ratings? Thanks. I you know, it took me, I don't know, an hour or two to put this together. It was a lot of just busy work, right? It was a lot of just filling in questions, clicking stuff, busy work. But it took a bit of time, and I was really worried only like 1 or 2 people were going to submit replies. So the fact that I got like 20, that's nice. So anyone that submitted answers, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Also, Zenny, I rated some of these before the theory crafting stream, so I might have undervalued them. Yeah, so that's my expectation as well, right? I'm sure I'm going to submit some ratings here that you guys think I'm insane because the cards really maybe overperformed during the theory crafting streams. But other than that, you guys excited for the expansion? I guess one question, considering I didn't watch any of the theory crafting stuff, for anyone who did watch the theory crafting streams, did it make you more or less excited for the expansion? I'm really curious about that. Because I'm excited for it personally. Also, Zach, I didn't watch anything. Mine were based on personal and chats in the stream and Discord. Okay, so we're pretty much in the same boat there. But like I said, I'm excited for this expansion. I think it has a lot of really cool ideas. Has a lot of really cool like build around cards that I'm excited about. Zenny's excited. But like I said, I have seen some posts on Reddit of some OTK decks apparently, so it's not always a good start. Metavat's always excited, more or less, the same regardless of theory crafting. Steve's more excited because Sandwich Warrior is actually playable. Nice, nice. Which is funny. So the sandwich weapon has definitely grown on me a little bit. When I first looked at it, it looked so bad, like such a meme card. But the more I've thought about it, and especially seeing like some of the Druid cards that released for Warrior, I don't think it's as bad. I don't think it's going to be like a meta tier 1 card or anything like that, but it looks fun, you know. But yeah, might as well get started because this might take a little while. I'm not really sure. But to start off, I'm just going to go by class, and I'm going to go in order. So first off, we have Death Knight, which keep in mind these can also be used by Warlock. So we got Brittlebone Buccaneer. Also, hey INXT, is that the guy who does the content for Hearthstone? I do some content for Hearthstone, you know. Also, Leo, how you doing? You guys all have a good weekend? Leo's not very excited. Think it'll be the first time I won't buy the bundle. Wow. So funny enough, I've talked about this before as well, but Whizbang's Workshop was I've played since beta, right? I've played for 10 years now, and I've played consistently for 10 years, and Perils in Paradise was the first expansion I ever pre-ordered in 10 years. And it was only because of you guys. It was only because of the stream that I wanted to make sure I had enough cards to like play decks and stuff like that. So I pre-ordered this expansion for the same reason. But yeah, these are the first sets I ever pre-ordered. And if it wasn't for streaming, I probably wouldn't have pre-ordered still. It's just pricey to me. You know, converted to Canadian with tax, it's $70 for the base pre-order. And you really don't get like that much out of it. I don't know. I don't think it's that good of a deal. Also, Svenny stayed the same. The Rye Cleaver itself is not that great, but Warrior Drew got a lot of great cards. Put some respect on Rye Cleaver's name. Yeah, like I said, it's grown on me. I'll give you that, guys. It's grown on me. INXT had a good weekend. Went into work today too. Walked home through rain. That's never fun. Day off tomorrow and the day after. Oh, was that on purpose? Did you take today and tomorrow off for the release of the expansion? I took the week off, so I had no judgment. Also, Zen, you got the bigger bundle? No, I got the smaller bundle. Let me show you guys. The bigger bundle's over $100, I think. Let me see, does it show the price? Oh, it doesn't. So this was, I think it was like $62, something like that. And then with tax, it was $70. And you can see the bigger one is $100. So plus tax, we put $110. And really, I don't know. So this would be $40 more, and all you're getting is 20 more packs. Like, I don't really care about the gold packs, right? So $40 more for 20 more packs, I just don't think it's worth it. So I got the smaller pre-order. INXT, nope, not on purpose, just a variable schedule. Oh, well, it worked out for you, man. That's perfect timing. I don't enjoy Blizzard's pricing politics. Yeah, some of the pricing for stuff is ridiculous. You know, I've talked about it before, but like this, $50 for Signature Genin Baku is just insane. Like some of the prices, I feel like I'd be a lot more inclined to buy some cosmetics if they weren't so insanely priced. And the packs themselves, right? They obviously could be cheaper. You know, you compare it to like a physical card game, right? And I don't know. I feel like if I spent the equivalent amount in Magic, I get more out of it. Plus, you can resell and trade those Magic cards, right? The Hearthstone cards you're just stuck with. But anyways, I don't want to go on a tangent about cost too much. So here, let's get started though. So we got Brittlebone Buccaneer, 2-mana 1/4 Undead Pirate. Whenever you play a Death Rattle minion, give it Reborn. So Warlock has a lot of Death Rattle synergies, if I remember right. Death Knight has some. Like I'm bouncing between 3 and 4 here. Like, I think if the Warlock Death Rattle stuff, like, actually works and pays off, this card will be great. You know, 4 health on a 2-drop is nice. It makes it sticky, right? I feel like you can drop this on 2, and it might live a decent amount of time. Although you probably want to save it for, like, later game to, like, play this and then play a Death Rattle right away, right? But maybe call me crazy. I am very hopeful for like the Death Rattle Warlock package. So I'm going to bump it up. I'm going to go 4 for this card. Also, my hair is driving me nuts. Yeah, I'm going to bump this up to a 4 just because I'm very hopeful for the Warlock Death Rattle package. I don't think it's like insane, but I think it's good. Like I said, the 4 health helps a lot on the 2 cost, I think. Also, Zenny, both bundles are expensive in hell expensive as hell in my currency. I have heard that some countries it's like very much a ripoff, unfortunately. Oh yeah, it was cheaper some years ago, but they increased it. Yeah, every so often they increase their like exchange rates, and that's the problem, right? Is some currencies can like vary like very much over the years, and so they update things, and it just screws people over. Also, by the way, what's your experience level at the end of the expansion? Let me check here. I actually forget myself. So keep in mind, I didn't buy the Tavern Pass, so I don't have the experience boost there. I'm at 194. And that's without the, I think, what do you get, 25% with the expansion? Like the, what do you call it, Tavern Pass? I think so. So I'd be like 225, probably, something like that. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever hit 200. I've got close. Also, Zach, I think Tavern Pass is worth it if you play a lot. If the boost gives you 100 levels, that's 50 packs for $20. Other bonuses and more levels are just extra. Yeah, I will say, too, I've never bought the Tavern Pass. But there is a couple I've regretted not buying. Because there's a couple Tavern Passes. Let me go back. Because they have the Diamond and the Legendary cards, right? Like, there's a couple. I regret not getting Diamond Finley. I regret not getting Diamond. Where is it? You get to Diamond, or not Diamond, Golden. Right here. I miss getting Golden Renathal. You know, there is a couple Tavern Passes I regret not buying, but yeah, I've never bought it. Also, Leo, I heard there's no board this time. Kind of strange. Yeah, so let me see. I don't know if I can find it. Let me see. It was somewhere on Reddit. Oh, it was right on Hearthstone's Twitter. Let me see. Basically, Hearthstone acknowledged the fact that there's no board in this set, and they basically said that, oh, next week we'll talk about it. You know, we'll talk about like the future of Hearthstone next week, or like what direction it's going. Let me show you guys. I believe it's right on their Twitter. Right here. We hear your questions on what's changing and why, including why there is no new board for Perils and Paradise. Hang tight, as we'll be sharing an update next week, along with what the team is focusing on for the future. So I talked about this a little bit last week during the stream, but yeah, I think 100% this is not good news. The whole reason they're waiting until after the expansion launches is because if it's bad news and they tell people before the expansion launches, people will refund the pre-order, right? So the fact that they're waiting for the expansion to launch so people can't refund it means it's bad news. Now, the question is what level of bad news, right? Is it like kind of just is it just little sprinkles of bad news, or is Blizzard going to punch us in the face? Like, that's the question, right? So we'll have to see. I don't think they're going to announce that, like, oh, Hearthstone's closing in a year. I don't think it'll be anything like that. But I can see, you know, maybe a world where they slow down the expansion releases. Maybe they stop doing mini sets. I can see something like that. I think development will slow, but I think the game is not going to be like over, right? But yeah, I think everyone can agree. I don't think it's good news. Like I said, the fact that they're waiting until after the expansion launches. So we'll have to see. Also, Bite Size, hey, how you doing? Hope you had a good weekend. I got sidetracked a couple times now, but I will be reviewing the cards. So yeah, so I'll be rating this a 4. Brittlebone Buccaneer. And hey, we're not too far off. You guys rated it a 3.6. So it's funny because I said I was bouncing between 3 and 4 for this card, and you guys rated it at 3.6. Some of you rated 3, some 4. We got a couple 2s, we got a 5. Actually, a couple 5s, a couple 2s. So yeah, you guys are kind of around the same wavelength as me. 3, 4, somewhere around there. So that is Brittlebone Buccaneer. Then we got Buttons. As the shaman, the tourist to get the shaman cards, 5 mana, 5/5. Draw a spell of each spell school. So what I'm going to do with the tourists, because I've mentioned it many, many times, that regardless of how good or bad the tourists are, they're going to be played. Because you need to play them to, like, basically, you know, utilize the main mechanic, right? So if you want to play shaman cards in your Death Knight, you have to play this, regardless of how good or bad it is. So so keeping that in mind, I'm just gonna rate them based on like how good or bad they are. I'm not gonna rate them based on obviously they'll be played or not, because I think they all will be played. But in terms of how good or bad I think this is, kind of going like a 2. It's just a 5 mana 5/5 that draws you a couple cards. Yeah. I don't think the whole like spell school Death Knight will be that good. Like a 5 mana 5/5 draw 2 cards isn't like a 1-star card, but it's not great. I think I'm gonna go 2. Zenny, the tourist having an effect is really just a bonus. That's kind of it, right? And you know, like I said, these are all gonna be played regardless. But yeah, some tourists are definitely better and worse than others. Death Knight doesn't have problems with card draw. That's true too. Yeah, I still think it's a 2. Like, I don't think it's like a terrible card, right? But I don't think it's great. So I'm going to go 2. Also, you guys rated this a 3. So kind of all over the place. We got some 2s, some 3s. We got a 5 here. Got a 1 here. Yeah, so it actually averaged out to a 3. So you guys rated this a little higher than me. I could see a world with maybe a 3. But I'm going to go 2. Then we got Eliza Goreblade, 4 mana 4/3 with a Blood and Frost rune. I'm not going to get into that. I could have a whole... I've ranted about Death Knight runes too many times. I'm not even going to touch on that. But Death Rattle for the rest of the game, your minions have +1 attack. I think this is like a 4. I think like the kind of like the rating scheme I'm going with here is 1 is like an awful card. 5 is like an amazing card. 4 is decent. 3 is average. And 2 is like not great, but like not terrible. So I don't think this card is amazing. Like I don't think it's like going to be like meta or anything like that, but it's okay. Yeah, I'll go 4. I think if you can play this right on 4, or if you can possibly play this, you know, manipulate the Death Rattle, I think this card could be really, really good. But how likely are you to play it on right on 4? I think the rune combination is really awkward, which takes it down a peg. Yeah, I think 4. I think I'm happy with 4. I evaluate Eliza very strongly. She has a lot of interesting synergies. I assume I rated her as 5. Four mana ghouls are so strong with her. Yeah, I get, because even your hero power, right, benefits from this. Yeah, I think it's a strong card. I don't think it's like a 5. I don't think it's like a meta card or anything like that. I don't think it's like going to be meta defining, anything like that. Also, bite size, I can see them stopping mini sets. Maybe do like 4 expansions a year to make up for it or something. That is true, right? I don't think they will just remove mini sets and stay at 3 expansions. Or what they could do is maybe only do like 1 mini set a year. Maybe do 3 expansions, and then towards the end of the year, do like a mini set. Or midway through the year or something like that. I can see that maybe. That's my guess. I think they're just going to slow down development a little bit, but it's not going to be like, oh, the game is going to be shut down next year, right? I don't think it'll be anything like that. Also, do you think Tourists would see play even if it was a War Golem, like a vanilla 7/7 for 7? I agree. I think they would. I think 100%. I think the Tourists could be vanilla minions, right? And they would still see play simply because you need to play them, right? If you want to interact with the Tourist mechanic, you need to play them. So really, like, the body doesn't matter. So if it's good, it's a bonus, right? But if it's shit, like, whatever, you're running it anyways. So basically, tomorrow I'm going to be releasing a crafting guide for this set, going over the legendaries that are worth crafting, not crafting. And basically, all the Tourists fall in the same bucket, where I think if you like that class and you want to, check out the Tourist mechanic, obviously just craft it because you need to, right? So it's a bit of a bummer that it feels like there's a lot of legendaries in this set you need to craft. I almost feel like the Tourist should have been free. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer that there's a lot of legendaries. Like, in order to interact with the main mechanic of the set, you need to craft a legendary for it, for each class. That's kind of a bummer for sure. But yeah, Eliza, I'm gonna go with the 4. You guys rated it a 3.8, so pretty close to me. So far, like, we are within like half a point of each other. So we're pretty in sync so far, guys. Also, not meta defining, but she will see play in Rainbow. It's a good Discover card. Oh yeah, good Discover card for sure. Not gonna deny that. There's also a lot of ways to activate Elise's Death Rattle a few times. I don't really think she will... Oh, sorry, I really do think she will be strong. Yeah, we'll have to see. I think this has the potential to be like a 5, but I think it's more of like a 4. But like I said, you guys rated it 3.8. Then we got Corpsicle. So, when this card was first announced, I basically said it was a balanced Frozen Touch. Frozen Touch is super annoying because you could play it twice in one turn. You could play it 3 times in one turn, possibly. And they kind of learned from that, I feel like, with this design. The fact that it goes back to your hand at the end of the turn. But it's technically like infinite damage. It's a corpse spender. And I will say, last week I played Arena. Perils and Paradise cards are in Arena right now. So I streamed it last Wednesday, Thursday, and I drafted Death Knight a couple times. And I will say, Corpsicle really surprised me, at least in Arena. Corpsicle pulled some weight in Arena. I was really surprised how well it did. Like, I feel like I'm rating that a 4 as well. Again, I don't think it's anything like meta-defining or insane, but it was really, really good. I was always happy to draw that card. I feel like I got so much value out of it. Also, how many 5s does Eliza have? Let me take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5 people rated Eliza a 5. So you're not the only one. So yeah, time will tell, I guess. But Corpsicle, I'm going to go with 4 as well. I think it's a really good card that actually really surprised me. But I don't think it's like anything insane. I think the fact that it goes back to your hand at the end of the turn is what keeps it from being a 5. If it just said deal 3 damage, spend 3 corpses to return this to your hand, it'd be a 5. It would be insane. So I'll go with 4. And also, wow, you guys are even higher on it than I am. You guys rated this a 4.7. So most people rated this 5. And then we got some 4s, and we got 1 3. So wow, the majority of you guys rated this a 5. You guys, I'm high on this card for sure. You guys seem even higher. Wow. Corpsicle will be the best way to spend corpses in standard. That is true, right? Maybe CNE will come back. You can just consistently spend corpses with this card. Buff up CNE. Next time, we could rate them in 2 scales, power and likeness to see play. Yeah, so I will say, originally when I was making this poll, I did it where I did a rating for the class and also the tourist class. So I had a rating here for Death Knight and also a rating here for Warlock. But I don't know. I wanted to keep it simple for you guys because there's like 150 cards for you guys to rate, right? So if I had 2 ratings and we're up to 300 ratings, and I just wanted to keep it as like short and simple for you guys. But yeah, maybe next time I'll maybe flesh this out a little bit. But like I said, I didn't want to scare people off and have like too much to fill in because I was already kind of asking a lot, right? Leo is the 3. All right, Leo. So we will go back. We will go back in a month and we will see if Leo is right or the rest of us are right. Because pretty much everyone else is very up on this card. I still going to go with 4, but most of you guys rated it a 5. People very up on Corpsicle. Like I said, I might have rated this a 3 as well. Before I played Arena last week, Leo, I might have rated this a 3, but it really surprised me in Arena. It really did well. So yeah, going to go with 4. Next, we got Horizon's Edge, 4 mana location with 5 durability. Deal 3 damage randomly split among all enemies. After a friendly minion dies, reopen this. I'm just kind of mad on this card. I think it's a 3. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. Maybe there's a deck in the world where it could really be good. Zenny, this is broken. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little slow. Like, obviously, if you have some kind of deck with, like, little shitters, and you can, like, trigger it, trade, trigger it, trade, trigger it. Yeah, it's, you know, 15 damage for 4, and it hits face. I feel like that's such, like, a narrow circumstance, like, such a fringe situation. Like, I don't think it's bad. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's amazing either. Steve says amazing arena card. Yeah, I can see that for sure. Svenny, I wonder whether it'll be more aggro or OTK. Yeah, can you imagine a world where you put like 2 of these on your board and you OTK someone somehow? I'm still gonna go with 3. Also, Zek also says broken. Oh, maybe this is good. Maybe this is gonna be the first one we really disagree on. You guys, what'd you guys rate this card? You guys rate this a 4. Oh, it varies a bit though. We got what, 2, 3, 4 people rated this a 2, but then a bunch of people rated this a 5. So this was very all over the place. People are split on this. This is the most split we've seen so far. But overall, you guys rated this a 4. I'm going with 3 though, so we will see. People are very divided on this card. We will see who is right in the end. But I think it could be good, but also could be useless. So I'm kind of just going down the middle. I think it's just average. Zek, don't forget about hero power to trigger Horizons. Both that card and the repeating damage are going to be broken in aggro. I don't know. It's just like in an aggro deck, right? 4 mana is a pretty big commitment for potentially like no immediate impact. But like I said, I could be wrong. That's the whole point of this video, right? Is I'm going to go through all of my ratings. I'm going to go through your ratings. And in a month, we're going to see. Once the dust settles and the meta settles, we're going to see who is more accurate. You guys, or me, or neither of us. So we will see. But I'm not sold on this card. So this is one I'll be very interested to follow up on in a month. Then we have Frostbitten Freebooter. It is a 3 mana 2/2 Death Rattle, freeze 3 random enemies. Any that were already frozen take 5 damage instead. It's a cool effect. I think I'm going 2. I don't think it's like... So, If Death Knight and Warlock didn't have ways to kind of abuse and repeat death rattles, I'd say this is a 1. But maybe there's some world where you can trigger this a couple times and like clear a board or something. Oh, it also hits face. Yes, Steve, I did not realize till you said that. This hits face. So it's potentially some like face damage you can push there. Also, freezing the enemy hero is not insignificant as well, right? Does that push it up a notch? Damn, that's tough. Like, obviously, I feel like dropping this guy on 2 into this guy in 3 is like the dream, right? Would be very, very nice. Yeah, like this is potentially like an anti-aggro card, but also potentially like a burn card. Svenny, once again, it could be both control and an OTK card. Yeah, it's kind of dual purpose. Steve, it might be an OTK card, but also can slow aggro. Yeah. Maybe, Do I go up to 4? The more I think about this card, the higher I get on it. Yeah, so freeze 3 random enemies, any that were already frozen, take 5 instead. I'm pretty sure during a previous stream we talked about this, and I'm pretty sure it can hit the same thing multiple times. Can anyone confirm that? Like, if the enemy's board is empty, it's just going to freeze them, right? It's not going to freeze them, then do 5/5, I don't think, is it? If it is, that's insane. Oh, Steve, you're saying it can hit the same thing multiple times? If you can, yeah. Okay, this card is much, much better than I initially thought. Especially, like I said, giving this Reborn or triggering the Death Rattle multiple times. I'm assuming that's what you meant. If so, I'm gonna go with 4 then. It's so funny. When I first looked at this card, I was at 2, and then I thought about it more. Actually, so I was at 2, and then Steve mentioned that it can hit face, brought it up to 3, and the fact that it can potentially hit the same thing multiple times, I think it's a 4. And as we've talked about, right, this can be anti-aggro. This could be potentially like a combo piece. Bite size with 2 of these deal 30 damage to the enemy hero on an empty board. Well, it'd be 25 damage, right? First death rattle, so you get three effects, right? So it'd be freeze, 5 damage, 5 damage, freeze, 5 damage, 5 damage. Then the other one, 5, 5, 5. So it'd be 25 damage if it works that way. And then, yeah, Zek, if it can hit multiple, it's really good. Yeah, I agree. If it really can hit the same thing multiple times, I think it's a 4. I think it's a very good card. Where are you guys at with this? Whoa, okay, we are possibly very split here, but it may be because not everyone understands how the card works. Even I don't understand. So you guys rated this a 2.7. And it's all over the place. We got some 1s, we got a bunch of 2s, and a couple 3s and 4s. Yeah, so you guys rated this a 2.7. I'm going with a 4. I'm going with a 4 on the condition that this effect can hit the same target multiple times. If you have an empty board and this can freeze the enemy, then do 5/5, I think it's a 4. If it can't, and it just freezes the enemy and that's it, I think it's a 3. So we shall see. We'll have to go back to this one for sure. And then we have Snow Shredder. It is a 4-mana 4/4, costs 1 if a character is frozen. Also, I'm trying not to look at your guys' ratings until I rate them. I don't want your guys' score to influence me at all here. I talked about it when this card was revealed, but I think this effect is very strong. There's been other cards in the past that, well, what's it called? What's it? 4-mana, 3/3. It costs 1 less for every like damage your opponent's taken. What card am I thinking of? I know, I think it's 4 mana. Maybe it's not. Is it 3 mana? It's like something Fellwing, I think. Come on. Card library, don't fail me now. Card library doesn't want to work on me. But anyways, there was a card that it was a 3/3 that cost, it was discounter for every health your opponent took, how much damage your opponent took that turn. That card was played. I feel like vanilla minions like this that can be reduced to 1 or 0 like have seen play in the past. Try searching costs less. That's a good one. Nope. Took? Nope. I can't find it, guys. I forget what it's called. Is it something Fellwing? Yeah, oh, here it is. Frenzied Fellwing. Frenzied Fellwing costs 1 less for each damage dealt on your opponent. Each damage dealt to your opponent this turn. This card like saw play in aggro decks, right? And like I wonder if this is a very similar effect, right? This is potentially a 0 mana 3/3, a 1 mana 3/3. This is potentially a 1 mana 4/4. Is it good enough to see play though? And yeah, like you said, it's still played. This card's still played in Wild. So I feel like these effects are underrated and are surprisingly good sometimes. So I wonder, is there some kind of like aggro Warlock deck or aggro Death Knight deck that this could actually be really good in? Also, Leo said about the last card, having it as a Death Rattle is a bit too slow. True, but there's also a bunch of Death Rattle synergies, I think, that could, you know, give it Reborn or repeat it multiple times. So I'm going to make a risky decision here. I'm going to give this a 4. I think this effect in the past has been very strong, has been surprisingly strong. And I envision a possible aggro deck, you know, where something gets frozen and you just drop 2 of these, like 2 mana for 8/8 in stats. I'm going to go risky. I'm going to go 4. There's a big difference between 1 and 0, as those IT specialists say. I agree. There is a huge difference between a 0 mana 3/3 and a 1 mana 4/4. Like, huge difference. But I don't know. I think, like I said, I think this effect can be very strong. What'd you guys say? 3.1. Most of you guys rated 2, 3. We got a couple 5s. Oh, we actually 1, 2, 3. We got 4 5s. Wow. We got 4 5s. Got a bunch of 2s. But overall, you guys gave it a 3.1. So we shall see. We will see who is right in a month. And then next up, we have Ghoul's Knight. 4 mana, 1 unholy spell. Summon 5 1/1 ghouls that attack random enemies. This one's tough because on its own, I don't think it's that great. But if, say, you have like Eliza's buff, right? Say you've got Eliza's buff once or maybe even twice or something like that, I think this card's insane. So I'm going to give it a 3. I think if Eliza ends up being good, this is probably going to be like a 4, maybe even like a 5. This is potentially like a shit ton of damage to face if you've repeated Eliza's Death Rattle multiple times. Well, let's go with 3. I think it has the potential to be really, really good, but there's other cards that it needs to be good. Like, it's not like in a vacuum, it's not that great. But I think paired up with some other cards, it could potentially be really good. Ghoul's Knight might even deal 20, 30, 40 face damage. Yeah, like I said, I haven't watched like the theory crafting, so I don't know how things have actually turned out in the real world. But should I go higher? I think the random element is the really like the bummer, right? if they have 1 or 2 minions on board, it makes this card so much worse. I'm gonna stick with 3. Just because, like, if they have any meaningful board, I think this card sucks. Obviously, if they have 1 or 0 minions on board, and you have like a Lizer once or twice, very, very strong. But at that point, like, there's a lot of what ifs, right? There's a lot of what ifs in that situation. So I'm gonna go with 3. Kind of down the middle. You guys, okay, you guys are similar. 3.3. Most of you guys rated at 3 or 4. We got a couple 2s, couple 5s. All right, so pretty much on the same page though. Also, bite-sized DK seems to have a lot of bursty face damage, just expansion. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe like the Burn Death Knight will make a comeback. We'll have to see. Steve, Ghoul Knight on turn 4 to Army of the Dead on turn 5 can be an easy board clear. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see what the meta's like, right? How, because apparently there's all kinds of OTKs and stuff, so we might not have a very board-based meta. We'll have to see, I guess. And it also works with giving poison to undead. Oh, that's true too. The one guy that gives things poison paired up with this. But he costs 4 now, doesn't he? Like, that's an 8 mana board clear. Yeah, that's an 8 mana potential board clear. That's not that great when I think about it. But it's a good point to bring up. So yeah, I'll go with 3 though. And then I got Dreadhound Handler, 2 mana 2/2 rush with Death Rattle, summon a 1/1 Dreadhound with Reborn. I think this card's insane. I think this card will be played in like every single Death Knight deck until it rotates. And it's not like it's anything broken. It's just so good. It's essentially a 2 mana 4/4 with 3 corpses. And you get 2 damage rush. Like, I think this card's insane. And the fact that it has no rune requirements is just like icing on the cake. But I truly think this will just be an auto-include. Like every Death Knight deck. I don't foresee like any Death Knight deck where you wouldn't want this card. 2 mana, 3 corpses, you know, 4 damage, rush. It's so how do you describe it? It's so pushed. Like, this card is so pushed, it's insane. Steve, I won a few games because of Handler and Death Growl and Arena. It's insane. This card is DK's variant of the Salesman. That's a good point, right? Salesman is not like a broken card. It's just a very good card that goes into so many different decks. I feel like the same here. Just a very, very good card that's going to go into every deck for the next 2 years. So what did you guys rate this? 4. How many gave it a 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 people gave it a 5. Got a couple 2s in here. We got some 3s. I am very, very confident with my 5 here. Like, no hesitation at all. So we'll see how it turns out. And then we got Slippery Slope, 2 mana spell, 2 Frost Rune, freeze a character, draw a card for each frozen character. So on one hand, and so it's kind of similar to this card, right? I think this effect in the past has been very, very good. You look at what's that one card called? The Warlock one that you draw. Impending Catastrophe. This is kind of similar effect, right? This is draw a card, conditionally draw more cards for 2 mana. This is draw a card, conditionally draw more cards for 2 mana. It's essentially the same type of card, right? I think this potentially could be a very, very strong card. Like Impending Catastrophe was nerfed, I believe. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I believe this card was nerfed. And there's been some other cards in the past too that basically say draw and draw more if, right? And they've all been pretty good, I believe. I think the one thing hurting it is the 2 Frost Runes. If this was 1 Frost, I think it'd be insane. But the 2 Frost, I don't know how likely we are to see 2 Frost Rune decks. I think it's a solid 4, though. Just on the basis that similar cards in the past have been very good. Yes, freezing is a little more niche than just having imps on the board, but there's a lot of freeze effects in, like, Frost already has quite a bit of freeze effects, and they're getting even more. Yeah. I think it's just a good solid 2 mana draw spell. If some kind of like burn frost deck exists, this will be amazing. Like so good. And would you guys rate this? Oh man, okay, we are divided on this one. These are the most fun ones. The ones that were very different in our ratings, I love because I'm very curious to see who's right in the end. But you guys rated this a 2.6. We got some ones. Most of you guys rated this a 2. We got 1.5 in here. I don't know if you're watching or not. One person rated this a 5, and then yeah, we got 1s, 2s, and 3s. So 2.6. Oh yeah. So we are very split on this card, but I think it has potential to be really good. So we shall see. We shall see who's right in the end. And then my overall Death Knight ranking. So what is Death Knight getting here? Eliza's kind of cool. Corpsicle's good. Obviously, this card's amazing. Like, what cards wow me? This is okay. This sucks. This is potentially cool. Corpsicle's good. That's potentially cool. I'm at 3 or 4 on this. Also, Steve, is there a mini set for every expansion? Yep. They've done a mini set for every expansion for the last 3 years now, I think. Something like that. I did a tier list, actually. I forget if it's on YouTube already. I did a tier list for all the mini sets, actually. I rated them a few weeks ago. I'm kind of going towards 4. I think Slippery Slope could be very strong. Dreadhound's insane. Ghoul's Knight is maybe really good. Snow Shredder maybe really good. Like, there's a lot of cards here I think at their worst are okay, but have the potential to be really good. Like, the worst rated card I have here is Buttons, I believe. Yeah, the worst rated card I have is Buttons. All the rest I have 3 or higher. So I'm gonna go with 4. And then you guys are at 3.6. Most of you guys are at 3 or 4. We got a couple 5s. We got a 2. So it seems like we're in the same ballpark for Death Knight. All right. So next up, I think I might have to speed things up a little bit to go make sure we get through everything. But Climbing Hook doesn't lose durability while you control a minion with a 5 or more attack. I think this is giga bad. Like, I don't know. I'm all for like big demon hunter. I don't think this is it. Yeah, I just don't think it's good. Anyone want to defend it? Yeah, I don't think I have any doubt rating this a 1. It doesn't have any synergy with the pirate deck as well. Yeah, I forgot pirates were a thing. So Death Knight, actually Demon Hunter, I mean, and also Shaman can use this. Demon Hunter is kind of getting like 2 packages, right? 1 is the pirate package and 2 is the big demon package, which I'm excited for. I've always wanted big Demon Hunter to be a thing, and we'll have to see. Maybe this, like, even if it's like tier 2, I don't expect Big Demon Hunter to be like a tier 1 deck, but even if it gets like tier 2 or something, I would be happy. And they are getting some cool tools this expansion. I don't think this is one of them. I think this card's bad. Bite Size. I think Climbing Hook is one of the best cards we've seen. Me when I lie. Yeah, I think so far this is the worst card that I've looked at so far. And you guys agree. You guys rated this a 1.8. The absolute highest rating we got for this was a 3. 3 people rated this a 3. Most people rated this a 1. So we're all in agreement there, guys. This card is poo-poo. Next up, Dangerous Cliffside. 4 mana location, 3 durability. Summon 2 1/1 pirates with charge. After your hero attacks, reopen this. So for 4 mana, you're getting 6 1/1s with charge. Potentially 2 a turn, or like potentially 4 in 1 turn. Keep in mind, once again, I haven't seen the theory crafting streams, so I don't really know how good Demon Hunter pirates have been so far. Um, I'm tempted to rate this a 2, but I think Charge has been such a terrible mechanic. Terrible in terms of like very strong. Terrible or Charge has broken like so many decks and strategies, and it's so strong. I think it bumps up to a 3. I don't think it's amazing, but I don't think it's bad. It's kind of like a fireball, potentially. Like 4 mana, 6 damage. Yeah. Zenny aggro Demon Hunter is kind of strong this expansion. It's very nice with the new pirates. Steve, at least 3, maybe even 4. There's a neutral enabler. Yeah, maybe pirates are getting a lot of tools, right? I'm sticking to 3, I think. I'm not very hopeful for this card. I don't think it's a terrible card, but I feel like this is one of those cards that the first week of the expansion is going to be played, but then as the decks get optimized, it's going to be cut. I think it just won't make the cut eventually. But I don't think it's a bad card. I don't think it's terrible. I just don't think it's good enough. And where are you guys with this? 3.7. So most of you guys rated this a 4, and then we got some 5s and some 3s. So you guys are on average more up on this card than me. Also, Hosen Roughhouser. Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of strong neutral pirates in this set. There's this guy. There's the neutral that gives up pirate Wind Fury, which I am not looking forward to that card. Charge and Wind Fury are 2 terrible mechanics, and they don't go very well together. So I'm still going to stick to a 3 on this. But like I said, you guys are a little bit more up on this card than I am. We'll have to see. I think this card will be played the first week, but I think it's going to make the cut. I think it's going to get like optimized out. That's my view of it. Then we got Patches the Pilot. 1 mana, 1/1, battle cry, shuffle 6 parachutes into your deck that summon a 1/1 pirate with charge when drawn. Man. I think this is at least a 4. So you're playing a 1 mana, 1/1 pirate. But then, yeah, you're also getting 6 more 1/1s with charge. You just got to draw through them, right? I'm assuming... Let me check. I'm assuming it's like a cast when drawn effect, right? Yeah, cast when drawn, summon it. Oh, is this a 5? Also, Leo, does it work with going down swinging? I'm assuming it would. Yeah. The only downside is it only has 3 charges, right? If it had like 4 or 5 charges, that'd be really cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Patches. Is Patches a 4 or a 5? Like, Demon Hunter has so much draw, right? I feel like they'll be able to get those pirates pretty quick. One of the strongest shuffles in the whole game because these pirates synergize with everything. Yeah, really, it's a 1 mana 7/7, right? With charge, essentially. You just have to draw the cards first. I think I'm gonna be a little conservative here. I think I'll stick with 4. I think this has like, obviously OG Patches is like one of the best legendaries of all time, right? This could be like one of the better legendaries of the set, I feel like. And just such a simple effect. I'll stick with 4. I'll be a little conservative here. I still wonder if Patches will still be as good as if you don't draw it early. I guess it's pros and cons, right? You know, if you draw this later in the game, you're going to have less cards in your deck, so you'll draw the pirates quicker. So it's like pros and cons. But if you play this on turn 1 and you high roll some of the pirates or in the next couple turns, it's going to feel so good. But I'll go with 4, I think. And you guys, we're about the same. You guys rated this a 4.1. So most of you guys rated this a 4, and we also got a bunch of 5s as well. And we got some 3s. But yeah, you guys rated this a 4.1. So we're pretty much on the same page here with this one. Also, it will go into the shopper pool. I don't think it's good for... Oh, yeah, so that will dilute the shopper pool. I didn't even think about that. Is there any other demons coming out? Oh, there's other demons coming out in this set, right? One. Oh, interesting. There's multiple demons. Okay. I wonder if Shopper Demon Hunter will be able to survive all the dilution of the pool. We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm gonna rate this a 4, and you guys are pretty similar as well. Sigil of Skydiving, 2-mana spell. At the start of your next turn, summon 3 1/1 pirates with charge. This is at least a 4, I think. I think playing this on, what was that guy called? Hosen Roughhouser. Oh, yeah, this guy. Like, the dream would probably be playing Sigil of Skydiving and then playing this on 3, right? And you get 3 2/2s with charge. It's essentially a 2-mana 3/3 charge. Which I'm still not happy that they're bringing charge back so much in this set. I'm not a big fan of charge. We'll have to see. I think this is a 4, though. I think in a vacuum, this is a very good card, but this potentially could be an insane card. Like I said, paired up with Hosen Roughhouser or some other like pirate synergy, could bring it up to a 5. But I think just like in a vacuum, it's still a very good card. I'll go with 4 here. And you guys are similar. You guys rated it 3.8. Someone rated this a 1. If you're watching, who rated this a 1? But yeah, we got some 5s, some 4s, mostly 5 and 4s. Got a couple 3s. Yeah, I'll go with 4 for this. And then we got Skirting Death, 3-mana spell, choose a minion. This turn your hero steals 4 attack from it. This is a weird card. Like, 3 mana, 4 attack is so bad. If it permanently stole the attack, like, if it permanently reduced the minion by 4 attack and then gave you 4 attack for the turn, I think it'd be so good. But for just a turn? Also, Zenny here's got a clip. Oop. Go back here. Yeah, I guess so much in stats on turn 3. I'm gonna stick with 4, but I think it has the potential to be like I think this potentially could be like one of like the best cards in a Demon Hunter pirate deck. Oh, with conductivity. Yeah, because Shaman can play this. Skirting Death with conductivity. That's really funny. I don't even know if that's like a meme or like a legit strategy. Steve, Skirting Death has a really funny OTK with some Shaman cards. Yeah, that is funny. I'm gonna say this is a 2. If it wasn't for some of these like meme strategies, I feel like I'd rate this a 1. But if there's some janky Shaman combos with this card, I'll put it up to a 2. I think it's just such a weird card. What did you guys rate this? Oh, a little higher than me. You guys rated this a 3. You're actually pretty split. Everyone pretty much rated it a 2 or a 3 with a couple 4s. So yeah, you guys rated this a 3. I'm not so good on it. I'm down to 2. This is almost even like a 1-star for me. I don't think it looks good. But then next up, we have Paraglide. 3 mana, both players draw 3 cards. Outcast, only you do. I am like so tempted to rate this a 5. I think 3 mana, draw 3 is obviously really, really good. And, you know, I talked about it when this card got revealed, but I think making your opponent draw 3 cards isn't even necessarily a bad thing. You know, there's so much card draw in the game now that very frequently your opponent has 7, 8, 9 cards in hand, right? So Paraglide could be a 3 mana, draw 3 cards, make your opponent burn 2 cards. Which is potentially game ending, right? If you burn the right card. Actually, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give this a 5. I think this card, you know, depending on the matchup, I wouldn't even care to outcast it. You know, it's like when I play against Warriors, right? There's so many times Warriors drop the 2-mana totem, and I just leave it alive. I just let them draw because they just burn cards because they draw so many cards. Like I said, I think Paraglide, a good amount of the time, could be 3-mana, draw 3, burn 2 cards of your opponent. Like, burn the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. I'm high on this card. No pun intended. Yeah, I really like it. Also, Steve, I wish they added more cards that could have multiple uses like Paraglide. I do agree. I really like versatile cards like this. Menavat, when did you say the Europe-friendly stream start? So tomorrow I will be starting I'll be starting at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So 6 hours earlier than I normally do. I'll be going live right when the expansion launches, and I'll be streaming probably 8 hours tomorrow. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I will be starting stream, I think at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So 4 hours earlier than I usually do. I think that's the plan right now. Email, take those glasses off. You're making a spectacle of yourself. It's because I'm totally right on Paraglide, right? I'm high on this card, man. Like I said, I think making your opponent draw 3 cards is not even a downside. Depending on the matchup. I think most matchups it's not a downside, but there are some decks you wouldn't want your opponent to draw 3. I think it's a 5 overall. I like it a lot. What about you guys? Ooh, not so much. 3.4. Most of you guys are 3 and 4. We got a couple 2s here. We got a couple 5s. All right, we'll see. We'll see who's right in the end. But I like it. It's an easy 5 for me, I think. And we got Arana, Thrill Seeker, 5-mana, 5/6. It's the tourist card. So once again, this card will be ran, so I'm just kind of rate it. I'm just going to ignore the priest tourist part and just kind of rate it based on what the card does. Damage a hero takes in your turn is redirected to a random enemy. This is a weird one. You know, who was it? Leo, you mentioned going down swinging. See, one shitty thing is this doesn't work with going down swinging. Because going down swinging makes you immune, so you don't take any damage, right? So that's like the first synergy that comes to mind, but doesn't even work, unfortunately. So really, most often you're going to be triggering this once a turn, right? Unless there's some other way to attack multiple times that I haven't seen yet. No. Or unless there's some way I'm forgetting. But I think you're really only going to be triggering this like once a turn. It's a cool effect. It's a really cool effect. Oh, also, I just realized, so never mind. For some reason, I thought I interpreted it as you taking damage and then dealing that much damage to a random enemy. But it's redirecting the damage. So if you attack into some like 8, if you attack into like a Molten Giant, right? You don't take the 8 and then it redirects the 8 somewhere else. Okay, that's better than I thought. I still don't think it's like amazing. Just a 3, I guess. It's a cool effect, but it's a little slow. Also, Menavat, I'm going to go to sleep now and hopefully drop in for the early streams. Nice! Like I said, I'm going to be really early. I'm going to be streaming a lot earlier, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So hopefully see you there. And the expansion comes out tomorrow, so have a good sleep, and hopefully we'll have some fun with the expansion tomorrow. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you later this week. This stream might take longer than usual because after an hour, it's still only 1.5 classes. Yeah, I'm going to have to speed run some of these, I think. All right, Arana, 3 stars. I think it's a cool effect, but it's just a little slow. You guys, a little higher. You guys rated this 3.9. But pretty close. And then we got All-Terrain Voidhound, 7-mana, 5/8 demon. Whenever this attacks, give your hero +5 attack this turn. I think this is a cool idea. I like the idea of Big Demon Hunter so much. I want it to work. You know, when this card was revealed, I remember I talked with you guys about how this card should have Rush. Like, if you're not cheating this card out, it sucks. I think if you're not cheating this card out with that one card that gives it Rush, yeah. If you're not cheating this out with Cliff Dive, if you're not cheating this out with Cliff Dive, it's like a 1. I think if it had Rush, it'd be a pretty decent card. I think it's a 2. As much as I want it to be good, I think if it wasn't for Cliff Dive, it's a 1. And Cliff Dive maybe pushes it up to a 2. 7 mana do nothing. Exactly, that's the problem, right? Is this does nothing the turn you play it. If it had Rush, it would be such a better card. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2. What about you guys? Oh, 1.7. Pretty close. You guys mostly rated it 1 and 2, and we got a couple 3s here. All right, so we're on the same page. Also, Pod, that would be the best card in Pain Lock. Yeah, this is kind of like a Demon Seed type effect, eh? Instead of taking damage, you redirect it. It's basically only once per turn, which is a bit bummer. Bog says, just give it charge. Yeah, you're giving all these pirates charge, man. Just give this guy charge too, even better. And then we have Adrenaline Fiend, 2 mana, 2/2. After a friendly pirate attacks, give your hero +1 attack this turn. I'm very high on the Demon Hunter Pirate package. There's a bunch of good cards here. Patches is obviously really good. Sigil of Skydiving's good. There's some very strong neutral pirates. I could very easily see this giving you like 4, 5, 6 attack. Steve, I can honestly see it have charge that went down to like a 3/8. And I'd be fine with that, right? The main reason you're playing this guy is for this effect. You're not playing it for the body so much, right? So yeah, if they gave it rush or charge but bumped down the attack a bit, I'd be fine with that. But yeah, Adrenaline Fiend, I think this card's a 4. I think it'll be core in any kind of like Demon Hunter pirate deck, and I can very easily... he's a pirate too, right? So him attacking also buffs you up. But I can very easily see this giving you 4, 5, 6 attack. So yeah, really good card. What'd you guys rate this? 3.8. All right, pretty similar to me. We got a 2 in here. Actually, we got a couple 2s. A couple people are not happy about the Pirate Demon Hunter. But most of you guys rated this a 4 with some 5s. And then we have Cliff Dive. So I want this card to be good. I want this card to be good so bad. I've always wanted Big Demon Hunter to be a thing, and I feel like it's always been on like the cusp of being okay. Like, it's never going to be amazing, but I want at least like a tier 2 deck, like I said. Cliff Dive is really good. In that regard, for like a big Demon Hunter deck, Cliff Dive is super, super cool. But as you just mentioned, Bog, there's just not enough. You know, the big Demon Hunter to really work, it needs more good demons. Like, what's it called? Illidari Inquisitor, I think. We need more demons like this. You know, if you play like a big Demon Hunter deck, right? This is what you want to cheat out. Like 99% of the time, this is what you want to cheat out. So, like this guy, right? This guy is almost really good, but it's just not good enough. You compare this to this, it's not even close. So, in order for Big Demon Hunter to really work, we need more big demons of like this power level. We don't need this piece of shit. We need more cards like this. Blizzard, make more good demons. That is what we need. We don't even necessarily need more like enablers like this, right? We need more payoff cards. So, in terms of like effort and in terms of coolness and fun factor, I think it's like a 5 to me. But, oh man. I'm going to give it a 3 just because I am hopeful. I'm so hopeful that this deck is somewhat playable. But I think realistically it's like a 2 or possibly even a 1. But I'm hopeful, so I will go 3. You guys rated this a 2.2. Most of you guys rated this a 1. Actually 2 people rated this a 4. Whoever rated this a 4, good for you. We're on the same page there. But most of you guys rated this a 1. Yeah, I don't think it's a very good card. It's a cool card. If some more good big demons come out, this card will obviously get better, right? But yeah, just the payoffs aren't there. They aren't good enough. Also, Pod, please say hello to Cottage. I guess she sleeps next to your desk. It depends. So kind of like right here, I have a bed on the ground next to my desk, and she sleeps in here sometimes when I work or when I stream, but she's not here today. I don't know where she is. But I used to have a camera that was pointed down at her bed there. I think I might set it back up for this week. Maybe we can have a cottage camera. But yeah, that's Cliff Dive. I'm hopeful for it, like I said. So Demon Hunter overall, I think Demon Hunter might be a 5. I think like Demon Hunter, I think is going to come out really good of this expansion with all the pirate synergy. It seems like Pirate Demon Hunter is going to have a lot of good cards, and maybe Big Demon Hunter will be like a tier 2 or tier 3 deck or something. But yeah, I think Demon Hunter is eating good this expansion. Like outside of this guy, is there any like really bad cards? Well, I guess Skirting Death is not great. Like everything else is good. Oh, and Climbing Hook. So I guess it balances out, right? Because there's a couple really awful, shitty cards here, but there's also a bunch of really good cards. I still think it's a fine. I'm sorry. I think still think it's a 5. I think Demon Hunter, very, very good here. You guys rated at 3.4. So you're not as sold as me. There's a bunch of 2s, some 3s, some 4s, some 5s, kind of all over the place. But yeah, you guys rated this a 3.4 on average. Wow. Maybe I'm like I'm blind here and I'm, you know, just too hopeful, but we shall see, I guess. Bog, Cliff Dive, and Charge Devilsaur goes nuts. Is Charge? Oh, wait. Sorry, let me go back. Cliff Dive doesn't hit just demons, right? Does it? Oh, yeah, it's not just demons. Oh. Okay, maybe there's some cool strategies that can go with this card. Maybe in Wild, we'll have to see. Demon Hunter will be the strongest class until nerfs. Yeah, so far, Demon Hunter. I've gone through Death Knight, Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is looking much, much better so far. But next we got Druid, which I think might also be a 5. We'll have to see. These cards can also be used by Warrior. So we got Hiking Trail, 3 mana location with 3 durability. Discover a taunt minion after you gain armor. Reopen this. I think it's just fine. It's basically just 3 taunt discovers for 3. It's not great, not bad. Yeah, I think 3. You guys rate this a 2.3. You're a little lower on this card than me. Bunch of 1s here. I wouldn't go as far as a 1, but I could see a 2. Maybe this is a 2, actually. Actually, I'm going to go with 2. It's basically just 3 mana, discover 3 taunt minions. Not like the worst card in the world, but it's not great. Also, Bog, feels weird they gave Druid a Warrior location. I can see this being a Druid card, though. Like, gaining armor is very much part of Druid's identity, and so are taunt minions, right? There's a bunch of, like, taunt synergies that Druid has as well. I would say, like, in terms of what classes are known for, Warrior is obviously much more known for taunts, but Druid has some taunt synergies and taunt, you know, cards. But yeah, not shit, not great. Hydration Station. 8 mana spell, resurrect your 3 highest cost taunt minions. So, one of my last streams, I think maybe the stream where this card got revealed, the viewers and me, you know, we were talking about like different things you could resurrect with this card and some of the combos you can do. I'm hopeful. I'm going 5 on this one. Maybe it's a little controversial, but I think, like, I love effects like this. I think this is a really cool effect. You know, this encourages, you know, like very specific like deck building and very specific combos and stuff, which I think is fun. And it's just a big splashy effect. I'm going 5. I think this will be cool in both Druid and Warrior. I'm not really sold on how good it'll be. Because, like, I will say, right? 8 mana is a lot to ask for nowadays. With how quick, like, how fast the game has gotten. It's a little slow, but it's cool. Hydration Station will be even more hated than Hadronox. I loved Hadronox Druid back in the day. Oh yeah. See, it resurrects Ziliax. Yeah, Steve. Like I said last week, we were talking about some of the things you could resurrect with this card. There's a lot of good options for sure. You guys rated this a 4.2. So mostly 5s and 4s, couple 3s. Someone rated this a 2. But yeah, 4.2. I'm going with the 5 in this one. I think this card's gonna be very, very good. I'm just worried it might be a little bit too slow. If like Pirates take off, I think this card will be too slow, but very cool effect. Very cool like build around card. Cruise Captain Laura. I'm not even going to read the rest of this card. I think it's giga shit. From the moment this card was revealed, I think this card is so bad. You know, if this instead lets you discover one location and then summon a random one, I think it would be so much better. But so many locations are terrible. You're paying 7 mana for a 4 or 5 body. I think it's so bad. I have nothing else to say. Bog, how long till they buff it to 5? Yeah, if they buff this, if they lowered the mana cost, like 7 for 4 or 5 and getting 2 shit locations. Why would you run this in your deck? If this is one of my pre-order legendaries, I'm gonna be pissed. But yeah, I think it's awful. This is on the same level as like that grappling hook. This is worse than grappling hook. I think this is the worst card I reviewed so far. I don't like it. Also, Pod, I saw the ramp taunt warrior deck, and it seems very strong with all the new druid cards, mainly the hydration station. You can resurrect 2 Ziliaxes with poison and reborn. Yeah, I'm really hopeful for that deck. I saw in the video with like Day 9 and Raren that they I think Raren was the one who played the warrior deck, that it looks really fun. Or no, Day 9 I think played the warrior deck, but yeah, it looks really fun. Just it's same thing with the axe, like the sandwich axe. There's a lot of cool stuff that druid and warrior will be able to do this expansion, so I'm very hopeful for that. Also, neither big spell mage nor other control decks will have options against hydration station. Yeah, I'm hopeful for it. We'll see how it turns out. But Laura, awful card. You guys rated it a 1.8. Most of you guys rated this a 1. There's two people rated this a 4. If you rated this a 4, you're banned. But I think this card is so bad. Then we have Dozing Dragon, 5 mana, 3/5, dormant for 2 turns. While dormant, summon a 3/5 dragon with taunt at the end of your turn. I think this is such a cool effect. You know, when I did my keyword tier list previously, right, I talked about how dormant was such a boring keyword when it first came out. But lately, they've been doing a lot of cool effects with dormant. You know, things like this where it says, while it's dormant, do X. I love that. So from a design perspective, I think this card is so cool. From a balance perspective, I think it's like a 2. I think it's kind of slow. Like the 5 mana for the medium-sized taunts. If this instead summoned dragons with the same stats as this, I think it'd be really good. Because you can maybe buff this up a little bit and then summon some buffed guys. But yeah, 5 mana 3/5 taunt is bad. 5 mana for 2 3/5 taunts is sure it's okay, and for 3 it's decent, but yeah, it's spread out over 3 turns. I don't think it's great. I think it fits well into Dragon Druid. I don't know if it makes the cut for Dragon Druid. I think it fits into Reno Druid. I could see that. You know, Reno Druid has like a dragon sub theme going on. I could see it in that, just because you're a little bit more less picky with your cards. Yeah, I'm not great on it. You guys rated it at 2.4. Kind of all over the place. We got some 4s. We got a 5. Mostly 2s and 3s. Yeah, you guys rated this at 2.8. I think you'll be proven wrong in the future. That's why we're doing this. Like I said, I'll go back in a month, and once the meta settles and everything, we know is it's very obvious what's good and what's bad. We're gonna go back and we're gonna see how right I am and how right you guys were. So we shall see. But I don't know. I don't like it. It's a cool effect. Don't get me wrong. In terms of like design, this is like a 5-star. I think The dormant effects they've been doing lately are really neat, but I just don't think the stats and the cost are all there. So next up, Sleep Under the Stars, the Choose Thrice card. 7 mana, choose thrice, draw 2 cards, gain 5 armor, refresh 3 mana crystals. I think this is a 5 as well. I think this is this reminds me of, what's it called? Branching Pass. Yeah. Branching Pass is still played to this day in Wild. And part of the reason is it's just such a versatile card. You know, it is sustain, it's a bunch of armor if you need it, it's card draw if you need it, it can push damage or help with trades if needed, and it can be any like combination of those things, right? It's just such a solid card that's still played in Wild, and this is very similar. This lets you draw cards, gain armor, discount itself. Such a versatile card. And Warrior can play it too. I can see it being played in Warrior as well. I think it's a great card. I think we'll be seeing this card a lot. You guys agree. You guys rated this a 4.6. Most of you guys rated this a 5. We got a couple 3s, couple 4s. Yeah, overall, you guys agree. I think this is a very, very good card. 1 mana, draw 2. Yeah, exactly, right? If you like worst case, 1 mana, draw 2. Like that alone is good. Also, my hair is driving me insane today. Next up, we got Mista Vista. This is the tourist card, gives the mage spells, which I think mage is going to be insane for Druid this expansion. 5 mana, 5/5, battle cry in 3 turns. Replay every spell you've cast between now and then. This is such a hard card to evaluate, I feel like. I think it's a 4. It's a super cool effect. Because between Druid and Mage, there's a lot of good cards, right? A lot of good spells. So I'm assuming... So do you play this? And then that counts kind of as like the first turn, right? I think you play this, and then the next turn, then it triggers? Or is it you play this, you have another turn, and then the next turn it repeats? Does anyone know? Like, how many full turns do you have to utilize this effect? That's what I'm curious about. Like, if you drop this on 5, do you have the next turn to utilize the effect, or 2 turns after that? I'm actually not really sure. See, this is one of those examples, right, where this is a good tourist card. Some of the tourist cards kind of shit. I think this card's really good. Like, you're gonna run it anyways, right? And you get a very good card on top of it. If Mista hits Hydration Station, yeah, see, exactly, right? Hydration Station, Sleep Under the Stars. Like, even if you get one good spell off this guy, it's great. And because it's the tourist, you're running it anyways. Like, this card will be in your deck regardless. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 4. I think very, very good card. And you guys agree. You guys rated this a 4.1. You got some 5s. Actually, 5s, 3s, and 4s. And you guys averaged out to 4.1, which I agree. I give this a 4. And then we have Bouldering Buddy. 7 mana, 6/7. Good stats for the cost. Rush Taunt costs 1 if you have at least 10 mana crystals. I'm so torn on this card. Because obviously a 1 mana 6/7 Rush Taunt is obviously amazing, right? But it won't be that until you're at 10 mana, which if you're at 10 mana, I feel like it's not that good. God forbid they say Mana Thirst. That's so true. It could have said Mana Thirst 10, cost 1. That's funny. God forbid they reuse keywords, you know. But yeah, I think it's like a 2. I think by the time this costs 1 mana, it's just not that great. Yeah, so I'm kind of low on this card. I'm going to say 2. I'm comfortable with that. You guys are a little higher. You guys rated this a 3.3. So we'll see. Next up, Portolan Traveler. I'm probably saying that wrong. 3 mana, 1/5 taunt. Death Rattle, draw another taunt minion, reduces cost by 2. I think this card's amazing. I think being able to tutor out a specific taunt minion, reduce it by 2. Like, obviously, like, the dream is like hit Ziliax, right? Hit Ziliax with this, reduce it by 2. If you kind of think about it, right, it's essentially like a 1 mana, 1/5 taunt that tutors a taunt minion. Like, I think this card's so good. I think there's so many taunt minions that both Druid and Warrior would want to hit with this. Yeah, I think it's an easy 5. You guys, 3.8. So a little lower than me. Although a bunch of people did rate this 5 as well. Someone rated this a 1. So someone did not like this card. But most of you guys rated this a 5. Averaged out to a 3.8. I think this card is very, very good. And then we have Trail Mix. This is a 5. 2 mana, gain 2 mana crystals next turn only. Both Druid, like, I think this card is much better for Warrior. It's still decent for Druid, but I think it's like insane for. Let's ban this guy. I think this card is insane for Warrior. Like, easy 5 without even a second thought. Oh, you guys aren't as high on it though. 3.7. Wow, kind of all over the place. Got some 2s, some 3s, some 4s, some 5s. It's just a 5 because of the underload joke. Yeah, I don't know. I think this card's going to be insane in Warrior. I think in Warrior, it's like a 5. I think in Druid, it's like a 3 or a 4. Druid has so many other ramp options, right? But I think in Warrior, it's insane. And then we have New Heights. Well, without even reading the card, this is also a 5, I think. 3 mana, increase your maximum mana by 3, and gain an empty mana crystal. I think both Druid and Warrior, this card is insane. You know, we all know, right? Ramp is very good. Increasing your maximum mana, very, very good. Like, that's one reason Guff was so good, right? And with 2 of these, it's almost Guff. Guff is 20. This gets you up to 16. I think this card's amazing for both Druid and for Warrior. Trail Mix on 2 allows you to get the Sleepy Dragging on 3. You really want me to increase the score of Dozing Dragging, eh? But yeah, so Trail Mix 5. Don't need to think about it. Or sorry, New Heights. New Heights is a 5. And you guys agree. You guys gave it a 4.6. So mostly 4s and 5s. Yeah, very, very good card. Druid overall rating, I think a 5. I think Druid got so many crazy cards. And it's so funny because Druid, I feel like, has been very, very strong for a while now. And like historically, it's been very strong, right? And Blizzard's like, Druid's a little too strong, right? Like, it's got too much ramp. It's got too many options. So what do? Let's give it more ramp. Let's give it more ramp. Let's give it mini Guff. Let's get it more ramp. What could go wrong, right? Yeah. Oh, Mista Vista could even replay this. Oh, man. Yeah, I think the last few cards are very, very, very good. So yeah, Druid is a 5 for me. You guys gave it a 4.4, so pretty close. Actually, the lowest anyone rated Druid was a 4. You guys were all 4s and 5s. So yeah, I think Druid very, very good. And then we got Hunter. Hunter can also be used by Priest. So we got Sasquatch. It is a 7 mana 4/5 battle cry. Repeat each card you played last turn. This might be like a little controversial, but I think it's like a 5. I think this might be better for Priest than Hunter. But this is potentially like an extra Ziliax. This is potentially an extra board wipe. I think it's very, very versatile in that sense. Yeah, I think very, very good card. I think, like I said, I don't know how good it is for Hunter, but I think for Priest it'll be. I think it'll see more play with Priest, where I can see it being very, very good and versatile. And you guys aren't so hot on it. Gave it a 3.8. But yeah, I'm sticking to 5. One person gave it a 1. But mostly 3, 4, some 5s. Yeah, I'll go with 5 here. Then we got Death Roll. So I think for Priest, this is like 5-star. I think for Hunter, it's like a 3-star. I think it averages out to like a 4. Like I think this card will be amazing. This kind of seems, this is like an offensive version of Cannibalize. You know, it destroys a minion, and instead of healing you, it instead deals them a bunch of damage. Yeah, I don't know how many Hunter decks I want to run something like this, but I think, again, this will see more. I feel like Hunter's set is better for Priest than it is for Hunter, because I think this is such a good Priest card. Yeah, I'll go with a 4. And you guys are pretty close. You guys gave it a 3.7. Got some 3, 4, 5s. I'm very excited to play this card, actually. I think it's a very cool card. Then we got Birdwatching. 2 mana, discover a minion from your deck. Give all copies of it +2/+1. Like 4 is pretty fair. I feel like a 2 mana, discover a minion from your deck. Already is not like the worst card in the world, and then giving them buffs as well. The biggest thing that comes to mind is Astral Automaton, obviously. But sometimes Hunter has ways to get like multiples of things in their deck too to buff up. Birdwatching is easy 5. It'll fit into every Hunter deck forever. Yeah, I do think this is a better Hunter card than Priest card, but I don't. But for say like Astral Automaton, right? I do see it being played in Priest as well. So this card could be a 5. I think I'm gonna go with 4. A little more conservative. And you guys are even lower on it. You guys rated this a 3.3. Okay. So this will be a card to keep an eye on, because we're kind of all over the place with this one. And then we have Chatty Macaw, 3 mana, 3/3. Battlecry, repeat the last spell you cast at an enemy. If this said repeat the last spell you cast, I think it'd be a 5. But the fact that it specifies the last spell you cast at an enemy, I don't think it's as good. I think it's just like a 3. Like, what are the options here? What are the options that Hunter has? Let's see. Standard, Hunter, enemy. Let's filter spells. Is that it? So repeat the last spell you cast at an enemy. Oh, okay. There's more stuff I can hit. Arcane Shot sucks. Skimmer. Kill Command. Like, I feel like the only ones worth hitting for Hunter here are like Celestial Shot or Kill Command, maybe? What about Priest? I feel like Priest probably has even less. Yeah, I think this card's bad. Actually, the more I look at it, I think it's even worse. Does it work for the quest line? Are you talking about the Hunter quest line that shuffles all the raptors in your deck? Louise, what spell we have? I can't remember. 1 that worth. Is there 1? Only Death Roll? Yeah, for Hunter, what are the options for Hunter? Death Roll, which I don't really see people running in Hunter. I feel like it's pretty much only Kill Command or Celestial Shot in some kind of like burn deck. See, the only problem here too is it casts it at a random enemy. If it said repeat the last spell you cast at an enemy, I don't know. If it didn't have the random clause, like if this was guaranteed like hit their face or something like that, I think it'd be a little better. But the fact that the cards this can repeat are very narrow, and the fact that it has a random target, I think it's a 1. I think this is so bad. Louise, Death Roll is better. I don't know if you can even put Death Roll on the deck if at least it casts an enemy hero. Well, that's true too, right? If they have nothing on the board, Death Roll just does nothing. I didn't even think about that. Kill Command and Celestial Shot can at least hit face. Death Roll just does nothing if they don't have a minion on the board. So yeah, I think this is a bad card. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, the quest line, not the quest, about casting spells. I'm assuming this would trigger the quest line. I still think it's great. It's still 3 mana. I feel like Quest Hunter is like so refined. I feel like this wouldn't be good enough to throw in there. too much talk from the macaw and not so much effect. Yeah, yeah. I think it's a bad card. You guys are higher on it though. You guys rated this card a 3.3. I think it's bad. There's so many things that can make this card better. If it wasn't a random effect, or if it repeated just the last spell you played, it'd be so much higher. I'm going with a 1 though. I'm putting my foot down. It's a 1. Catch the Day, 1 mana 3/3 rush, battle cry, summon a 2/1 worm for your opponent. I think this card is very, very good. There's a bunch of ways to cheat this out. You know, 1 mana 3/3 rush is amazing if you skip the battle cry. Even without skipping the battle cry, right? Play it on 1, you trade into the 2/1. It's a 3/1 on board. They might not have a way to deal with. I don't know. Louise, with the current cards in standard, that's a 1. Maybe in a minis, maybe with the mini set or like in a year, it'll be more. That's true. There could be some. This card could get better with time, right? There could be some cards released that make this a lot better. That is true. Hunter cards are so forgettable. Yeah, it's kind of funny. So far, these cards either seem not great or they seem way better for Priest. Like Sasquatch, I think is way better for Priest. Death Roll, way better for Priest. Birdwatching is kind of 50-50. Macaw sucks. Catch the Day, I think, is good, though. Yeah, if you could cheat this card out, very, very good. You guys rated it at 3.4. It's a little lower than me. Someone rated it at a 1. Not happy about it. Someone rated it a 5. But yeah, I think I'm going to go 4. I understand, though. I think I could be very wrong about this card. I think this card could end up just being shit. But I think it has the potential to be really good. Luis solid with the weapon and the 2 mana that replay. Oh, have I got to that card yet? Oh, yeah. That, I'm assuming. Yeah, if you could cheat this out, that's like a 5-star card. Ranger Gilly, this is the tourist. At the end of your turn, get a +2, or sorry, get a 2/3 Crocolisk. Death Rattle, give all minions in your hand +2/+3. This effect is like very random. I feel like it's so slow too, right? It's 6 mana, and then it's a Death Rattle effect. Like, obviously, it's going to be ran. Like I talked about with the other tourists, it's going to be ran. Regardless of how good or bad it is, it's people will play it because you need it to play the tourist cards. But ignoring that, like, take out the tourist part, right? 6 mana, 4/6. At the end of your turn, get a 2/3, and then it has a Death Rattle to give all minions in your hand +2/+3. I don't think it's great. Kind of slow. Hunter, I feel like is generally like vomiting out minions on their hand, right? So it's not like it's Paladin where they're gonna have a handful of minions that get buffed. I feel like this is only gonna buff like a couple minions. I don't think it's great. And then you guys rated this 2.6, so pretty close. Bunch of 1s here, 2s. Someone rated it a 5. They must be a Hunter player. Maybe if the Crocolisk had taunts. Yeah, just to be a vanilla body, it's not great. Yeah, if it wasn't for the tourist part, I don't think this is a good card at all. And then we got Parrot Sanctuary. Your next battle cry minion costs 1 less. After you play a battle cry, reopen this. I think it's like a 4. Like, this kind of costs negative mana when you think about it, right? It gets you a 1 mana discount 3 times. Yeah, I like it. Mana cheat is just good, right? We all know that. You guys rated this a 3.2. So actually, you guys are this is very split. There's some 1s here, some 2s, some 5s, some 3s. Yeah, you guys are very divided on this card. I think it's good though. I think mana cheat, like, you can't go wrong, right? Parrot Sanctuary is nice for OTK decks. What are they OTKing with? Like I said, I haven't watched any of like the theory crafting stuff, so I don't really know what people are playing. But I think, like I said, I think it's a good card. Mana cheat, very good. Oh, yeah, this was the card you were talking about, Louise. The 1 mana 3/3 with this. Yeah, so 2 mana, or Pet Parrot, 2 mana 1/1. Repeat the last 1-cost card you played. Is there any other synergy here? Is there, like, What other one-cost minions is there? Let's see here. Like, obviously, this is really nice for Astral Automaton as well. But for Hunter, let's see here. I'm just going to minions. So, outside of Catch of the Day, these all suck. What about neutral? I remember talking about this with you guys before. What do we got here? Miracle Salesman's okay. Tar Slime is maybe okay. Maybe just a 3. Obviously, repeating the 1-mana 3/3 rush is amazing. Repeating an Astral Automaton is amazing. But outside of those 2 situations, there's not a whole lot I think are that good. Also, remember my Porcupine Hunter? I do remember that deck. That was a fun deck. That's cool, though. But yeah, Parrot Hunter, I think it's just a 3. It's got some really good situations, but I don't think there's enough one-cost cards to make this good enough. But maybe in a couple expansions, so this card could get even better. But I think for now, it's just a 3. And you guys agree. You guys gave this a 3.1, so we're pretty much on the same page there. And then Furious Fowls, 6 mana, choose an enemy, summon 2 3/2 birds with immune while attacking to attack it. Who else can use this again? Priest. I think for Priest, this sucks. Maybe this is controversial. I think this is a 1. I think this is a giga bad card. It's essentially 6 mana, deal 6 damage to something. And then, like, this immune while attacking doesn't even matter, I feel like. Because the next turn, the enemy's just going to destroy them anyways, right? So it's essentially 6 mana, deal 6, and summon 2 3/2s. I just don't think it's good. I don't see Priest playing this. I don't see Hunter playing this. It's a cool card. Like, I feel like there's a lot going on here. It's a cool idea, but I don't think it's good. And you guys are pretty close. You guys rated this a 2.3. Bunch of 1s, bunch of 2s. Someone rated this a 5. I wonder if that's the same person that rated some of the other cards a 5. I think that's a Hunter player, must be. But yeah. And then we got Trusty Fishing Rod. 3 mana, 1/2. After a hero attacks, summon a 1-cost minion from your deck. So I think this is good for so many reasons. I wonder if this is 5. I don't think it's a 5. I think it's a 4. I think it's really good, though. I think this gives Priest a way to damage themselves for a bunch of their cards. This, again, can cheat out some of the 1-mana minions. If it wasn't for Priest wanting to damage themselves, I think this would be a 3. But the fact that this gives Priest another way to hurt themselves for their cards, I think it's a 4. So I can see this card being played in both Hunter and both Priest. And you guys agree. You guys rated this a 3.8. Most of you guys rated it a 4. There's some 5s and 3s. So Hunter overall rating. I don't even remember clicking this. Might have been me testing stuff. Overall, Sasquatch's good for Priest. Death Roll's good for Priest. Birdwatching's good. Macaw sucks. Catch is decent. Gilly sucks. Parrot's good. Parrot's okay. Owl sucks. Rod's okay. I feel like it's a 3. So if I'm looking at these cards just for Hunter, I feel like it's a 3. Maybe even worse. Actually worse. If I'm looking at these cards just from a Hunter perspective, I think it's a 2. You know, because this card sucks for Hunter. This card sucks for Hunter. This is good. This sucks. This is good. Sucks. Good. Okay. Sucks. Okay. Yeah. I think in terms of like these cards being just for Hunter, yeah, not great. And you guys rated this a 3.1. So kind of around the same as me. Also, this card might be worth running with the 1 mana, 1/1, give your weapon 1 durability. Yeah, okay, you caught it. Yeah, that if it didn't pull the minion from your deck, it's true. But there's only so many targets you're gonna have to be able to hit with this, right? So yeah, Hunter, not great. I feel like most of these cards are better for Priest. And then we go over to Mage. So these cards can also be used by Druid, which I think some of these cards are insane for Druid, if I remember right. We got Tsunami, summon 3/6 water elementals that freeze. They attack random enemies. Don't think this card's great. This is a 3. It's not great. It's not awful. I feel like I can maybe see Druid running this more than Priest. It just seems a little slow at 8. I don't know. I don't love it. I don't hate it. We'll have to see. This card, this could be like a surprise. This is one of those cards I feel like could be like a surprise hit. This could be one of those cards that like exceeds expectations and does way better than you expect, but I'm not sold on it. I think I'll go with a 3. But you guys are higher on this card. You guys rated this a 4.2. Most of you guys rated this a 4. There's a bunch of 5s. Okay, but you guys are, we'll see. Like I said, that's the point of this video, right? Well, we're going to see in a month who's right. Who's right, who's wrong. Hitting it with Mista Vista is good. Oh, that's true. Hitting like one good card off of Mista Vista, it will be great. And this is a good target for sure, like you said. So we'll see. Like I said, I think this card has the potential to be really, really good, but I'm not sold on it. Marooned Archmage. Your first spell each turn costs 2 less. It's a 3/3. I'm so on the fence about this card too. I'm going with a 2. You know, yes, you can play this and then play a 1 or 2 cost card for free, but then it has to live to your next turn to get another effect, and it's only 3 health. I feel like 90% of the time it's going to be dead by your next turn. So you're essentially just playing a 3/3 that lets you like cheat out a shitty spell. I don't think it's good. Yeah, I don't like it. If this was a 3/4, I'd maybe bump it up to a 3. But at 3 health, like this can just, a 2 cost can just trade into it and kill it, right? Yeah, I don't like it. You guys, a little higher. You guys rated this a 3.1. All right. They got Rayla Sand Sculptor, 4 mana, 2/5. Is a tourist card. After you cast a spell, summon a random 2-cost menu with Divine Shield. I don't love it. Yeah, it's a cool effect, but I don't really see it being that good. But I might be underestimating it. You guys rated this a 3.6. So you guys are a little higher on this card than me. Yeah. Tide Pools, 3 mana location with 3 durability. Discover a spell that costs 3 or less. After you cast a spell, reopen this. I think this is a 4. I think it's a cool card. I seen this played a couple times in Arena when I played, and I feel like very often they played this and got through all 3 durability in 1 turn. I think it's a cool card. There's a lot of good things this can hit. I like it. 4 stars. And you guys are pretty much the same. You guys rated at 3.9. So we're in agreement. It's a decent card. And then we got Cephalopods, 5 mana, 5/6, Battle Cry. The next spell you draw is cast while drawn. If I remember right, when I talked about this during like the reveals, that I think this is so bad because you need to build a very specific deck with this card. You pretty much only want to have like high cost, high effect spells in this deck, right? But there's so many good 1, 2, and 3 cost spells that you wouldn't really want to cut. And if you do add those 1, 2, and 3 cost spells, this card is not nearly as good. So I think it's bad. I think the type of deck you want to play this card in is just not, like, it's not worth like the sacrifices. So yeah, I'm gonna go with a 1. I don't think it's good. I don't think I'll see any play. But you guys are a little more hopeful. You guys rated it as 2.8. Couple 5s, couple 4s. Wow, actually all over the place. But we will see. This is one of those cards we'll have to go back to. Rising Waves, 3 mana, deal 2 to all minions. If none die, deal 2 more. I think this is a very good card. I think it's a very good card for Druid as well. Yeah, like it's cool design. Yeah, good card. I think it's better for Druid. Druid kind of lacks like AoEs, right? So I think this is more so a Druid card, but it's okay for Priest or Mage rather. So I'll go with 4. You guys are close. You guys gave it a 3.4. So yeah, I like it. And then King Tide. I am very big on King Tide. I think King Tide's a 5. I talked about this during like the reveal stream, but this is kind of like a Lotheb. Like this is almost like a Lotheb type effect, right? This lets you cheat out some stuff. And like, sure, your opponent could also cheat out stuff, but I feel like more often than not, your opponents are going to have smaller spells that it's going to increase the cost of. Lotheb, but better. Yeah, I agree. It's very similar to Lotheb. Like, sure, there's going to be some opponents that really take advantage of this card, but I think on average, it's gonna hurt your opponent. You know, you could play this on 4, and then next turn play a big spell for 5, or you can play this on 9 or 10 and play a big spell. Next turn, play some more big spells. There's a lot of ways you can play this. It's like very versatile, and it hurts your opponent too. So I like it. It's a 5 for me. And you guys are pretty close. You guys rated it a 4.2. Mostly 4s and 5s. Couple 2s. Oh, couple people don't like this card. And then we have Under the Sea. 6 mana. Draw a different spell. Summon a random minion of that spell's cost. Again, this is a 1. This is very similar to Cephalopods, where I feel like you want a very specific deck. You want a deck with only high-cost spells, right? But there's so many good 1, 2s, and 3s I wouldn't want to cut. Like, the effect of this card is not worth losing those low-cost spells. You know, 6 mana, draw a spell, and summon a random minion, which there's so many, like, low-roll minions, I feel like. Yeah, I don't like it. I think it's really bad. You guys are a little higher on it, though. I'm going to rate it a 1. You guys rated it a 2.8. But very split, again. There's 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s. 1, 5. I don't like it. Like I said, I don't think it fits into like any deck you'd want to play. I'm going to go with the flow. Oh, wait, both a Druid too, right? I don't think this is good for Druid. This too. Go with the flow. 1 mana. Choose a minion. If it's an enemy, freeze it. If it's a friendly, give it spell damage +1. In terms of design, this is like 5 stars. I think this is the versatile aspect of it doing one thing to enemies and one thing to friendlies. I think is so cool. It reminds me very much of like a Magic card in that way. The fact that it's 1, if this was 2, this card would suck. The fact that it's 1, I think it's decent. Very versatile. Yeah, I like it. I hope they do more designs like this too. I like the design of this card a lot. And you guys rated this a 3.2. So next up, Seabreeze Chalice. I think this card is amazing. I think this is much better for Druid than for Mage, but still decent for Mage. I think for Druid, this card's insane. I think this is the card that will make... spell damage Druid a thing. I think like Aulonius Druid, right? This card's insane for Druid, I think. So you guys rated this 4.1. I rated 5. I think this card's amazing. I think you'll be seeing this card a lot, I think. This card is going to be... a lot of people are going to hate this card, I think. So Mage overall. So if I'm going by the same logic, I'm rating these just from like a Mage perspective. Seabreeze Chalice is good. Go with the Flow is okay. Under the Sea sucks. King Tide's good. That's okay. That sucks. Honestly, like a 3. It's got some really good cards. It's got some shit cards. It's got some okay cards. Yeah, it's just overall like okay, I guess. Trying to get through these a little quicker since I started off pretty slow, I feel like. Next up, we got Paladin, though, which can also be used by Mage. So we got Grillmaster, 4 mana, 3/4. Battlecry, draw your lowest cost card. Death Rattle, draw your highest cost card. Oh, also, I missed it for Mage. Overall, you guys rated Mage a 3.8. So a little higher than me. But I think this is like a 5. I think this is like a better Talon. You know, tutoring 2 specific cards from your deck, I think is so strong. Yeah, I like it. It's a better Talon, which Talon was played a ton. Very good card. I like it a lot. I don't know how good it'd be in Mage, but I think in Paladin would be very good. Although it's not just your highest or lowest cost minion, it's just your highest or lower cost card. So maybe Mage does play it actually. Tutor out like a cheap and expensive spell. Yeah, I think it's a 5. You guys rated a 4.3. Pretty close. And then we have Sea Shanty. 10 mana, summon 3 5/5 pirates. Costs 1 less for each spell you've cast on characters this game. I'm low on this card. Like, I don't know if this is like against the grain or not, but I'm going to 1. You know, it's 3 vanilla 5/5 bodies. You know, getting this down to 5 or less. Like, even at 5, I don't think it's that good. I don't like this card. I think it's so slow and it's like has no immediate impact. Obviously, playing this for like 0, 1, 2, maybe 3 is amazing, but it's going to take a bit to get there. Yeah, I don't like it. It's a 1. It's a 1 for me. I'm sticking to it. But you guys are higher. You guys rated at 3.4. But kind of split again. We got some 1s, some 3s, some 5s. So another card we'll have to go back to and see. Then we got Divine Brew. It's the 1 mana drink for Paladin. Give a character Divine Shield. If it already has one, give it +1 attack. I'm very mixed on this card. Again, it has that versatility, kind of similar to that mage spell, like that 1 mana mage spell, where it can do different things depending on the situation. Divine Brew targets heroes too. It's true. My only concern there, like, yes, in some matchups, playing this to give yourself Divine Shield could be huge. But if you're against like a rogue, mage, druid, anything that can just easily get rid of the Divine Shield, it sucks, right? But in some matchups, it could be very strong. Like, I feel like more often than not, you're going to be playing this to give something Divine Shield and not so much the attack. It's just, it's okay. It's not great, not bad. I'm going to go 3, I think. You guys are a little higher. You guys are 3.7. Got a couple 1s and 2s, but mostly like 3s and 4s, 5s. Yeah. Maybe I'm undervaluing it. We got Sun Sapper Lanissa, 5 mana, 2/6. Your spells that cost 2 or less trigger twice. Or sorry, your spells that cost 2 or less, yeah, cast twice. I think it's like a 4. I think effects like this historically have been very strong. You know, like doubling effects are pretty much never bad. And there's a bunch of cards that Paladin is getting that synergize with this too. You know, I haven't got to them yet, but there's these sunscreen cards. You know, the weapon gives you these sunscreens. What else? This aura gives you the sunscreens, which this aura surprised me a bit in Arena. I don't know if it's good enough for like constructed, but in Arena it's really surprised me. So I think Lanissa's decent. Doubling stuff is always fun. It's always good. You guys rate this a 4.2, so around the same. And then we have Volleyball. I don't know. 3 mana, 3/2 weapon with an upside is kind of like the norm, right? And these sunscreens did surprise me, actually. I'm kind of on the fence. This could be like a 2 or 1, but it could be like a 4. I'm just gonna split the difference. Go with a 3. And you guys rated this. Oh, you guys rated this a 3 as well. Actually, you guys were split as well. There's a bunch of 1s and a bunch of 3s and 4s. But it averages out to a 3. So we'll have to come back to this one. Power Spike. I think this is bad. You know, it's a 6 mana, 4 damage spell that's dependent on you having something on the body, or sorry, something on the board. You know, obviously you can hero power, right? But at that point, it is a 8 mana, deal 4 damage, summon a 5/5. Which sucks. I don't like it. I think it's just too slow, and it's too conditional on having something on the board. But you guys mostly agree, rated at 1.9. Most of you guys rated it at 1, but then there's also some couple 4s. I don't like it. It's a 1. Easy 1 for me. Lifeguard, 4 mana, 2/7 taunt. Battlecry, the next spell you cast has lifesteal. I'm very up on this card. Like, I like it. I think this is such a good anti-aggro card. 7 health for 7 health taunt for 4 mana and the lifesteal effect. Like, Paladin has so many, you know, like AoE cards that, you know, say you're against like aggro, right? You could drop this on 4 and then, you know, absorb some hits, and then next turn or the turn after, literally just like a full heal. Like, what does Paladin got? Get rid of minions. You know, you got, depending on the type of deck, right? You got Consecration, potentially just a full heal. You have Prismatic Beam, potentially just a full heal. I'm assuming this would work too. Keeper Strength, potentially again, just like a full heal. Yeah, I like it. I'm very big on like anti-aggro cards. I love cards like this because I obviously I play slower, more like value-oriented decks. I like this card a lot. But you guys, not so much. You guys gave this a 2.3. Most people rated it a 1 or 2. And there's like a couple higher ones peppered in. But we'll have to see. Maybe I'm, I don't know. Maybe I'm overestimating it. And then we got Service Ace, 3 mana, 3/3. After this minion gains attack, reduce the cost of the highest cost card in your hand by 1. I don't like it. It's so slow. Like, say you buff this guy up with like the sunscreen, right? You're essentially paying 1 mana to reduce something by 1. So it's, you know, not really like going like positive or anything, right? And it's just a 3 mana, 3/3. I don't like it. I think it's so slow, and it's not, the exchange rate is nothing special. You guys agree? You guys rated it a 2.2. We're kind of on the same page there. Sanctizel, 5 mana, 3/8 rush. After this attacks, turn into location. So this one, to give it some context here. So when he attacks, he turns into a location with his stats. So it'll give a friendly minion plus whatever its attack is, and then the durability will be the health of it. So if this guy is buffed up, say you buff this up to like 6 attack, right? He attacks, the location will give something else 6 attack and rush. Then he turns back into the minion, can attack again, and turns back into the location. I think this card's really, really good. I think with hand buffs, this card is insane. It's pretty much like a Paladin Remornia. You know, Remornia from Warrior, it's pretty much like that. Like, very similar. And Remornia was decent. With the buffs, Remornia was really, really good. I like it. I'm going 5. Like, this is a card that makes me want to play Paladin. And, you know, yes, there's the one, there's the neutral card that can destroy a location. But other than that, it's hard to interact with locations. So, yeah, I think this card will be very, very, very good. With just like a couple hand buffs, it'll be so sticky and so much damage. But you guys rated this a 4.2. So, mostly up on this card as well. Then we have Life-Saving Aura. This card really surprised me in Arena. I think I go 4. If you're running any kind of deck that, you know, wants to double low-cost cards or, you know, target your minions or things like that, it's so good. Giving you 3 of the sunscreens. You know, 3/6 in stats over the course of 3 turns. I like it. Like I said, if your deck, if you want to do any of those things with your deck, if you want to buff minions, play 1-cost cards, things like that, I think it's really, really good. And you guys are pretty similar, 3.8. So Paladin overall, Paladin's pretty good. There's a couple, maybe not. Sea Shanty, I think, sucks. Power Spike sucks. Service Ace. Actually, maybe I was wrong. I think Paladin is mostly bad cards with a couple good cards. Grillmaster is really, really good. Linessa's pretty good. Lifeguard's pretty good. Sanctizel's really good. Maybe it's just like a 3. I think I'll go down the middle. And you guys rated Paladin 3.6. A lot of 4s and 5s, but then some 2s as well. Yeah, I'll go with 3. So I think what I'm going to try to do here, because it is 8 o'clock already. What do I have left? So I have Priest, Rogue, Shaman. Oh boy. So I might try to plow through the 5 classes, and then maybe tomorrow, because I'm doing a long stream starting early tomorrow, right? Maybe tomorrow I'll finish off with the neutrals. I should have started early today too. I didn't think this would take so long. But next we got Priest, which can also be used by Demon Hunter. Sensory Deprivation, 6 mana. Summon a copy of an enemy minion. If you have 20 or less health, destroy the original. I think this is bad. You know, think about when you play Priest, right? You know, I feel like... So, basically the idea is, you want to be under 20 life, right? And I feel like against an aggro deck, you'll be below 20 life, but the targets to hit with this will suck. You're going to hit some little shitter, and it's not for 6 mana. It kind of sucks, right? If you're playing against a slower deck with things you really want to hit with this spell, you're not going to be below 20. You know, think of how many slow Priest decks you play, or like Priest matches you play, where you're just healing yourself constantly. You know, you're not doing a whole lot, just hero powering yourself. Like most slow matchups, I feel like you're over 20 life. And if you're over 20, I think this sucks for 6. Yeah, I don't like it. You guys, not so much. 3.1. So yeah, you guys a little bit more higher on this card, but very split. Ratings are all over the place, but average out to a 3. I don't like it though. Acupuncture. I'm very curious what direction Priest is going to go with this set. Because Priest has, you know, a bunch of ways. Yeah, so like each time your hero's taking damage on your turn, things get better. I think it's just okay. It's a way to enable some of those cards. It's a way to push some face damage, maybe. Maybe in some world there'll be some stupid combos with this deck, but I think overall it's just okay. Not great, not bad. And you guys rated this a 3.8. It's a little higher than me. And next up, we got Brain Masseuse, 1 mana, 2/4. Whenever this minion takes damage, also deal that amount to your hero. So this is cool because obviously a 1 mana, 2/4 is amazing. And this isn't necessarily like a downside, because you kind of want to damage yourself with a lot of these cards. Like, I might go as high as a 4 with this. I think late game, this card would suck. I think late game, you don't want to drop this because it's much more likely that this gets hit by something big and deals a bunch to you. But I think if you can drop this on like 1, 2, maybe even 3, nice card. So I might be overvaluing this at 4, but I'm going to stick with it. But you guys are a little lower. You guys rated this at 2.9. And we got Narain, Sooth Fancy, Battlecry, get 2 fortunes that are copies of the top card of your deck. It's a 4 mana 4/4. I think this card is amazing. You know, for anyone who's unfamiliar, basically you get 2 cards in your hands that whatever, so they change in real time. Whatever the current top card of your deck is, that's what they are. So if you draw a card, they'll instantly change to whatever the current top card is. And there's some there's some decks here that get there's some cards here that get better if they're on the top of your deck, or there are ways to manipulate the top of your deck. I think this card's really, really good. I think the whole top deck manipulation aspect of these priest cards is neat, and this card kind of capitalizes on them. For 4 mana too, which is nice. Like, I feel like I could see a world just a few years ago where they would have released this card at like 6 mana or something like that. So the fact that it's 4 is nice. And also, you think about it too, right? This could get you like extra Zilliaxes. This could get you some other extra almond tools. Yeah, I think it's a great card. Twilight Medium, you know, kind of more with the same. Actually, oh, sorry, you guys rated this a 4.9. So not quite as high as me, but still pretty high. And then we got Twilight Medium, 6 mana, 5/6 taunt with Battle Cry. Set the cost of the top card of your deck to 1. And again, I think this is a 5. I think this whole synergy and strategy is really neat. You know, this could potentially make your Almond Duel, Zilliax, some big board wipe cost 1. Because if you have these in your hand, you can tell what the top card of your deck is, right? So you can wait for it to be a certain card and then play this. And it has taunt and okay stats on top of it. I think it's really, really good. Cool, cool like archetype, I think, with all these cards. You guys aren't so hot on it though. Rated at 3.2. Not bad, but not as high as me. And then we got Chillin' Vol'jin. It's the tourist card. 3 mana, 3/2 Battle Cry. Choose 2 minions. Swap their costs, or their stats. I think this card's crazy too. This card is so versatile because one way to think about it, this could almost read, give one of your minions Wind Fury. Because if you have 2 minions on the board, right? Say you have like a small minion and a big minion. You can attack with the big minion and then play this, swap their stats, and then you attack with the other minion that'll now have the same stats as the original minion. So it's essentially giving one of your minions Wind Fury. But you can also use this to make an enemy minion weaker. Like, there's so many different strategies and ways to play this card. Can it choose itself? That's a good question. Let me check. Is there a video here? Oh, there's no video. I'm assuming yes. Like, my gut is telling me yes. Especially because, like, the original Vol'jin, you know, you chose a minion and then you swapped stats between Vol'jin and the minion. So I feel like in the spirit of that card, you can probably choose itself. Which, again, if they have like one big minion on board, right? Play Vol'jin, make it small, make Vol'jin big. I think this is gonna be a really, really good card. And you guys are pretty similar. Rated at a 4.2. I just like how versatile it is. Like I said, swapping things on your side, swapping things on theirs. Maybe actually even choosing 2 minions on their side, right? Say they have like a big taunt, and you could swap the taunt with some of their other minion to get through the taunt easier. Yeah, there's so many different ways you could play this. And for only 3 mana, and it's the tourist. So you're gonna play this card anyways, right? So the fact that it's just a big upside in the tourist is even better. And then we got Sauna regular, 5 mana, 5/5 taunt, costs 1 less for each time your hero is taking damage on this turn on your turn. So this is the payoff, you know, for acupuncture, brain masseuse, the hunter weapon. We haven't got there yet, but the drink. This is kind of the payoff, and this is similar to what's it called? There was the priest card. The minion that got reduced for, what does it cost? 6, I think? These aren't 6 cost. This guy. It's reminiscent of like Thirsty Drifter. Thirsty Drifter was a 4/6 taunt that got reduced, you know, for playing stuff. This is a 5/5 taunt that gets reduced for playing stuff. This card was so good it was nerfed. You know, it's kind of similar. I've talked about in the past how this effect, like getting reducing cards for doing something else, is typically pretty good. Thirsty Drifter was very good. I think this card will be good. You know, a bunch of the cards that damage you on your turn also see pretty good, so you might be running them anyway. Yeah, I like it. I'm very high on this type of effect. You guys are a little lower though. You guys are at 3.1. Still not bad by any means, but yeah, I think it's be good. 1 mana, 5/5 taunt, 2 mana, 5/5 taunt. Always be nice. And then we have Nightshade Tea. It's the drink card for Priest. 2 mana, deal 3 damage to a minion, deal 2 damage to your hero. So a lot of synergy here, right? Priest obviously has a lot of ways to just heal this damage back up, but a 2 mana, deal 3 that you can reuse 2 more times is obviously very, very good. It has the synergy with damaging yourself. Yeah, I think it's just a good removal card. Yeah, I think any kind of priest deck that is be utilizing, you know, some of these new cards, we're going to be running this. Also, who else can run this? Demon Hunter. I don't think Demon Hunter plays this, though. But yeah, I think it's a really good card. And you guys are a little lower again. So, I don't know. I feel like so far I've rated all the priest cards much higher than you guys. So we'll see. I rated this a 4. You guys rated this a 3.2. So a little lower. And then we got Hot Coals. 3 mana, deal 2 damage to all enemies. If your hero took damage this turn, deal 1 more. So this is one of those cards where I think without the bonus effect, this card kind of sucks. Well, I guess without the bonus effect, it's essentially Consecration, right? 3 mana, deal 2 damage. But with the bonus effect, it's very, very good. 3 mana, deal 3, and it goes face. I'm kind of on the fence, though. Because I feel like without... For 2 damage, it's not great. 3 damage is good. It all depends on how consistently you could trigger the bonus effect, right? Like, if you play this right on 3 against aggro, more than like... Unless you have the weapon equipped already, you're probably not going to have a way to damage yourself already. At that point, it's just Consecration. Yeah, I'm iffy on this card. This card, I'm much closer to you guys. You guys rated this a 3.2. So overall, I've been rating the priest cards much higher than you guys, but this one, I'm around the same. I'm not sold on it. And we got Rest in Peace, 3 mana. Each player summons their highest cost minion that died this game. I am so torn on this card. Because if you are against an aggro deck, this card is amazing. This card is essentially 3 mana, resurrect your Ziliax, and give your opponent some shitter. But if you're playing against a control deck or slow deck, it's bad. Because it's essentially 3 mana, summon your Ziliax, give them Ziliax. So I just go with 3. Because it's very matchup dependent. In some matchups, this card will be like a 5. This card will be insane. But in some matchups, I feel like this will just be dead in your hand. Like, you won't want to play it. So maybe just a 3. Because it's so... how would you say? It could be so matchup dependent. I think this card just won't be played. It is a cool effect, though. Maybe there'll be some cool combos to pull off with this card, though. We'll have to see. But you guys rated this a 3.6, a little higher than me. I think this is the first Priest card you guys rated higher than me. I've generally been higher. But Priest overall, I like Priest set. I think the whole top deck manipulation... Actually, so the kind of like the 2 main aspects of Priest, right, are the top deck manipulation and the self-damage aspect, which I think they're both cool. I think they're both kind of new archetypes for Priest, and they seem interesting. I'm going to go 4. Not like the best set, but not bad. But you guys are a little lower. You guys rated this a 2.9, actually. So once again, I am higher on Priest than you guys. That's okay. And then next up, we have Rogue, which can also be played by Paladin. Kind of an interesting pairing there. So we have Treasure Hunter Eudora. It is a 6 mana, 4/5 legendary. Battlecry, go on a side quest to discover amazing loot. Play 3 cards from other classes to complete it. I believe this is like a duels treasure you get. Oh no, it's the Kazakusan treasures. Yeah, so you play 3 cards from other classes to discover a Kazakusan treasure. And I think this card is super cool. Maybe it's just like the type of player I am, right? I love like stupid effects like this. I like fun, stupid effects like this. I just picture like shadow stepping and repeating this effect. I love Thief Rogue, you know, playing cards from other classes as Rogue. I might be a little high on this card, just because, again, I'm very much like a goofy player and I like some of this stuff, but I think it's super cool. This is one of those cards I can't wait to play. So I think it's an easy 5. I think if I was being more realistic in terms of how good it'll be, maybe it's a 4. I think I'll go with 4. For me personally, it's probably a 5, but in the real world, it's probably a 4. But you guys rated it a 3.2. So not that bad. Not as high as me, but not bad. Then we got Petty Theft, 2 mana, get 2 random 1-cost spells from other classes. So once again, I love Thief Rogue a lot. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bad 1-cost spells, and there's a lot of good Thief Rogue cards already. I don't think this makes the cut. I'd have to take a look. I'd have to take a look at all of the options that this actually... Hearthstone. It's pretty good at that, right? Although there's probably a lot of options. Oh, it doesn't have them. There's probably too many options to list. But yeah, I think just the high roll and the low roll on this, it's too much. And there's already a lot of good Thief Rogue cards. So it's a fun card, cool card. I just don't think it makes the cut. But you guys are a little higher. You guys rate this a 3. I guess we'll see. And then we have Snatch and Grab. Destroy 2 random enemy minions. Costs 1 less for each card you've played from another class. And it's 8 mana. So I feel like I'd want this at least at 4. If I really want to play it, 4 or lower. Which I feel like by the time you've played 4 cards from other class, like, do you even care that much? I'm kind of medium on it. I feel like Thief Rogue, Excavate Rogue, like those style decks usually generate some removal. And I don't really know if this is needed. Yeah, I'm not big on it. I think about when I play Thief Rogue, I feel like I wouldn't add this card to my deck. I'd rather just rely on like RNG to give me removal spells. So I'm not, it's not bad, it's not great, but I don't think I'd play it personally. But you guys are a little higher on it. You guys rated it at 3.5. And then we have Metal Detector, 3 mana 2/2 weapon. After your hero attacks and kills a minion, get a coin. If it didn't have the kills a minion clause, this would probably be like a 4. Because things that generate coins are typically good. But the fact that you could potentially not get 2 coins out of this, it hurts it, right? It's only 2 attack. It needs to kill the minion. You know, it's basically honor. I guess this is another example of them not reusing keywords, right? This is honorable kill, get a coin. Actually, no, it's not honorable kill. Because honorable kill is exactly how much. Never mind, I'm wrong. But yeah, I think this is a 2. I don't like it. I think it's too conditional. Yeah. If this was a 3 mana 3/2, I think it'd be much better. But as a 2/2, I don't like it. I don't see a circumstance or deck I'd really want to play this card. But you guys are a little higher. You guys rated it a 2.8. So we'll go back to this card. We'll see. Maestra. I think this is like a 5. I think this card is so cool. And this is another example, right, of the tourist card you're going to be playing anyways. So if it has an upside, it's just even better. And this is a really good upside to me. You know, discover a hero card from the past, from another class. Most of them are pretty good. You know, on average, hero cards are good. And there's some really good ones you can get. It's just fun. You could potentially, like, again, repeat this card, potentially, for even more shenanigans. Also, you know, you could possibly design a Thief Rogue deck because, you know, typically when you're playing Thief Rogue, you don't always want to change your hero, because if you change your hero and you start repeating stuff from other classes, it'll actually repeat your rogue stuff. which you typically don't want. Most of the rogue cards you're playing are just like cycle cards. You know, it might even replay your Spectral Cutlass, which ruins all your buffs. But with this card, you could potentially build a Thief Rogue deck where, you know, you want to repeat the rogue cards. You could put very specific rogue cards in the deck that you change your hero and then repeat those cards. I don't know, just kind of spitballing, but I think it's a fun card, cool effect. This card looks like a fan card. Yeah, I could see this being a custom card. You are right. But this is one of the cards I want to play like day one. I think this is such a cool card. Very cool effect. But you guys are not as high on it. 3.7. Not like bad by any means, but not as high as me. And then we got O Manager. 2 mana, deal 2 damage, combo, get a coin. Just a good solid card, I feel like. You know, the fact that it doesn't if it was like deal 2 damage, if it kills it, get a coin, that'd be much worse. The fact that it's just kind of like unconditional, get a coin, you just gotta combo it, makes it much better. It can go face if that's relevant. Yeah, it's just a good solid card. Coins are always nice. And actually, you guys rated it the exact same. You guys rated it a 4. So we're on the same page there. And then Knick-Knack Shack, 3 mana location, 4 durability, draw a card. If you play it this turn, reopen this. I think this isn't great. I think this isn't great simply because Rogue has so many draw options already. Like, does Rogue really need more ways to draw cards? And who else can play this? Paladin. Would Paladin play this? I don't know. I just don't think it's great. I just think Rogue has no problem drawing through their deck already. They don't need an effect like this. I think the fact that the only thing that brings it up to a 2 is maybe the fact that Paladin likes it. I don't know. But you guys are much higher on this card. You guys rated this 3.5. But kind of all over the place. There's some 1s, there's some 4s, there's some 5s. Huh. Very divided on this card. And then next up, we have Conniving Conman, 4 mana, 4/4, Battlecry. Repeat the last card you played from other class. I like this. This is like a mini, what's it called? What's the card that you played it and it repeat the last 5 cards you played from other classes? Let's see. It's not in standard anymore. It was 5 mana, I think. Contraband Stash. Yeah, this is kind of like a baby Contraband Stash on a body. I like it because you can maybe save it for like, you could repeat a very strong effect with this, right? And it's not just the last spell you've played, it's the last card. I like it. Again, I might be kind of like clouding my judgment here because I like Thief Rogue so much, but I think it's good. 4 mana, 4/4 body for the effect too, not bad. Yeah, I like it. And then you guys, a little lower, 3.1, not as high as me. But yeah, I'm just a sucker for Thief Rogue, man. And then we have Seashill, 3 mana, 3/2, Battlecry. The next card you play from a non-rogue class costs 2 less. I don't think this is great. Is this even a 1? I'm just thinking like if I was playing Thief Rogue right now, would I put this in my deck? Actually, the fact that it's not tied to this turn, it doesn't say the next card you play from a non-rogue class this turn costs 2 less. It's just a permanent discount. So you could play this on 3, and then on 4 or 5, play a discounted card. Maybe that bumps up to a 3. I think a 3 might be generous still, though. I'm gonna go to 2. I think this is a 2. I probably wouldn't put this in a Thief Rogue deck right now, but I could see an argument for it, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little too conditional, I think. There's some situations where this card could be really, really good, but I think more often than not, it just will be useless. But you guys a little higher. You guys rated a 3.4. And no one rated it lower than 2. So I was almost the only person to rate this a 1. Next up, Swarthy Sword Shiner, 3 mana, 3/3. Battlecry, set the attack and durability of your weapon to 3. I think this is really good. I think even just like hero powering on 2 and then playing this on 3, basically a 3 mana, 3/3 with a 3/3 weapon. This can also, because Paladin can play this, right? This could possibly give you 2 more charges on the hand buff weapon. This could possibly give you some... Sorry, I'm getting too excited about this card. This could potentially give you some emergency charges on like your Spectral Cutlass. You know, there's been times my Spectral Cutlass has got down to 1 durability, and I just don't have a card to play to buff it. This could give you a couple more durability. Yeah, I like this card. I like it with the hero power. I like it as Paladin with the hand buff weapon. I like it with Spectral Cutlass. Yeah, cool card. I like it. You guys, pretty close. Rated a 3.3. We actually, we got some 5s and some 4s, but then we got some 2s. But kind of split. We got the group that says it's a 5 and a 4, then the group says it's a 2. So we'll see. So overall for Rogue, man, I think in terms of like fun, it's like a 5. But I think in terms, I don't think there's a lot of like impactful cards here. So I think in terms of fun, it's a 5. I think in terms of how good and impactful the cards are, it's like a 3. So I'm gonna average it out to a 4. I think there's so many cards here I'm excited to play that I cannot wait to play, but I don't know how like meta impacting these cards will be. They seem more like fun, goofy cards, which I love, but I don't know if it'll be, I don't think it's gonna like impact the meta too much. Hey Zenny, you're back. Thought you were over all the cards. No, it's taking me longer than I expected, unfortunately. I think I'm going to stop at the neutrals today and then finish the neutrals tomorrow, because, yeah, it's taking me longer than I expected. All right, Shaman. How many classes do I got left? 3? Shaman, okay. That's all right. Let's power through these. Meltamental, 3 mana, 3/8 taunt, permanently frozen. Also, I forgot. Oh yeah, overall rating for Rogue, you guys rated it 3.6, so pretty similar to me. Meltamental, I think it's bad. It's a cool idea. I don't know. I think in Arena, it's a very strong card. I don't really see this card being played in Constructed, but I could be wrong. This could be a card that surprises me. I don't love it. Cool idea. You guys rated this a 2.9, so much higher. All right, we shall see. Caress, Cabaret Star, 5 mana, 5/5. While in your hand, play 2 different spells. Sorry, while in your hand, play 2 different spell schools to transform. I think it's like a 4. It's so versatile. It's a cool anti-aggro card. You are true. You are right. Actually, if I was playing like Reno Shaman, I'd put this in my deck. But I don't know if like outside of Reno Shaman, how good it would be. But yeah, Caress. A lot of cool options here. So you can see, basically, you play a certain spell school and it adds an effect to... Also, I forgot to mention that these cards can be played by Death Knight. But you play a certain spell school, it gives an effect. You play a different spell school, gives it a second effect. And some of them are pretty good. Arcane, draw 2 cards, not bad. Nature, 2/2 and taunt, not bad. I think Shadow is the best. I think Shadow, destroy 2 random enemy minions. That's probably the best effect there. Like, it's so versatile, right? The fact that you can kind of tailor it to the situation, I think it's a very cool card. I love effects like this. And I can see Death Knight maybe playing this too, right? Shadow, I think, is the strongest effect, which Death Knight has some Shadow spells, I believe. Fell is probably like the rarest one you'd be able to trigger. The 2/2 taunt, probably the worst. and is the easiest. I guess in my mind, at least when I played Arena recently, my deck at the time, I usually triggered this with Shadow and Nature, which at that point, it's a 5 mana 7/7 taunt, destroy 2 enemies. I don't know, it worked out well for me. I don't think Nature's like the strongest by any means, but I don't think it's bad. Like, I think Shadow is the best, Arcane's okay. Fire, depending on the situation, could be good. Maybe Frost. Yeah, it's just it's the fact that it's versatile, right? Depending on the situation, you can tailor it as you need. But I do think Shadow's the best. But overall, I'd say it's a 4. I don't think it's quite a 5, but it's a really good card. It becomes your battle cry, right? Yep. So it is a battle cry. So yeah, actually, I didn't even think about that with Shaman, right? With Shutter Block or something. If you have some way to manipulate battle cries, you could do that as well. Actually, so unfortunately, the fire one wouldn't work with Shutter Block, that's disappointing. That's too bad. Fell with Shutter Block would be cool, but I think Fell is the hardest one to trigger. Yeah, more Shutter Block shenanigans. I'm all for it. So you guys rated this card a 3.7 though, so pretty similar to me. And then next up, we got Matching Outfits, 4 mana spell, transform a minion into a random one that costs 1 more, then summon a copy of it. I don't like this card. Louise, or no, Fell from Demon Hunter Tourist. Let me check actually. So Demon Hunter. There's one. They got one Fell spell. It's the Sigil of Skydiving, which I don't really see Shaman playing. Like, I don't think it's worth including just as like one Fell spell for that card. So yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. Matching Outfits. I think this card's bad. I think like you want to hit this on like a 7-8 cost, something like that, right? So you're not going to be playing this card until late game. And it's so high rolly. You could get like a really bad result out of this, or you can get an insane result out of it. I think Evolve Shaman's cool and it's fun, but I don't think this card's good. And then you guys rated this a 1.8, so not too far off me. Most of you guys rated it 1, then some 2 and some 3s. Also, Louise, it's a 3/3 that always survives to attack next turn, but doesn't feel shamanish. Yeah, it's not a bad... So don't get me wrong. I think Sigil of Skydiving is a good card. I just feel like if you're running like a Spell School Shaman deck, do you really want to run it just for Caress? Like, I don't know if it's good enough for that. But yeah, Matching Outfits sucks. I don't like it. Cabaret Headliner, 4 mana 3/3, Battle Cry, reduce the cost of a spell school. Reduce the cost of a spell of each school in your hand by 2. I think this card's nuts. I think, you know, mana cheating is obviously good, right? Mana cheating is one of the most broken things you can do in Hearthstone. I think hitting 2 spell schools it's essentially a 0 mana 3/3. 3 spell schools or more. Yeah, it's great. This lets you curve out into some higher cost spells. I think this card's amazing. I think it's almost like, imagine like Emperor Thaurissan, but getting like 2 ticks instantly almost. I think it's really, really good. And it's not legendary too. Run 2 of them. Louise, it's nuts. I don't know if today or standard, but will always be great for multi-spell school decks. Yeah, I think, because who else can use this? Death Knight. I don't know if Spell School Death Knight will be a thing, but if it is, this will be ran. And yeah, this will be ran in any kind of Spell School Shaman deck, 100%. So good. And then you guys rated this 4.1, so you also rated it very highly. And then we have Molten Magma. I think this isn't quite a 5, but I think this card's really, really good. I don't know if Death Knight runs this card. Maybe. But it hits face, right? So any kind of like spell damage shaman deck, this is face damage. I like it. I think it's one of the better drinks. And you guys rated it a 3.7. So pretty similar. Well, actually, a couple people rated this a 1. It was mostly 4s and 5s and a couple 1s and 2s. And then we have Carefree Cookie, 3 mana, 2/2. It's the tourist card. After a friendly minion dies, summon a random minion that costs 1 or more. Ignoring the tourist aspect. Like, take the tourist aspect off this card, right? 3 mana, 2/2. After a friendly minion dies, summon a random minion that costs 1 or more. I think it's bad. The tourist cards are a little hard to evaluate because, like I said, regardless of how good or bad this card is, it will be ran. But if you imagine this card without the tourist aspect, I feel like it wouldn't be ran. Because it's a cool effect, but this card needs to live, you know... you can maybe drop this and trade some minions and get an effect off it right away, but at 2 health, it's going to be dead by your next turn, right? So you're really only going to get 1 turn to utilize this card. Yeah, I don't like it. Also, Zenny just pre-ordered the expansion. Hope Hearthstone doesn't explode this week. yeah, we'll have to see what the news is this week. But like I said, I don't think they're gonna announce that like they're shutting down the game next year. I don't think they're gonna announce they're shutting down the game 2 years from now. But I could see them slowing development down a bit. That's my guess. But I don't think the game's going anywhere within the next few years. Also, Cookie might be played on that Wave of Nostalgia deck. Wave of Nostalgia is a cool card. But I think that the 2 health is just so low. It's just so easy to kill this and not really get much of an effect off it. But you guys are higher on it. You guys rated it 3.7. So maybe I'm wrong. We will see. Also, Louise stopped doing boards to sell signatures. Yeah, it's insane how much money they sell the signatures for, actually. But Siren Song, 2 mana, get 2 random spells from a spell schools you haven't cast this game. I think it's just like a 3. I think if it's kind of similar to that mage spell. What's it called? If I can find it. It's kind of similar to Discovery of Magic, but without the discovery aspect. Like this is 1, but you discover it. This is 2, but they're random. Zenny. Oh, you are right, Zenny. That's how you enable Caress. Yeah, this, I feel like there's a decent chance this is going to give you at least one, like a fell spell, right? It's okay. It's obviously very high rolly. You could get some insane spells off this, or you can get some useless spells or some spells that even hurt you. But it is cool. It's fun. Let's go 3. You guys are pretty similar. You guys rated this at 2.6. So we're not too far off there. And then next up, we got Natural Talent. 3 mana, get a random Naga and a random spell. They cost 1 less. And it's a nature spell for what it's worth. Louise, you are exactly right. You can get a spell from this that says resurrect the last demon that died, like stuff like that, right? That's why these effects they're tough sometimes, because you can get spells that you can't play, you can get spells that hurt you, you can get spells that, you know, yeah, it's rough, but it's cool, it's fun. I like effects like that. But Natural Talent, this is kind of similar. You could get a really shitty Naga, you can get a good Naga, and this is just any random spell. Like, this could be amazing, this could be bad. I feel like with the same logic I use a Siren Song, it's kind of just the same. It is a nature spell for what it's worth if you want to, you know, get a nature spell played. Yeah, it's too like high rolly, too random. And then you guys rate this a 2.3, so even lower than me. I feel like I'm being generous with the 3 as well. Razzle Dazzler, 7 mana, 4/4, Battlecry, summon a random 5-cost minion, repeat for each spell school you've cast this game. So, if you would have asked me this a week ago, I probably would have said a 4. but I actually drafted this card in Arena last week, and I was very underwhelmed by it. I think it takes it down to a 3. Like, maybe I just had bad luck, but I really low rolled some of the 5-cost minions. Like, there were some times I played this on my Arena run, and it felt so bad. And again, I don't know. Actually, let's look. What are like the 5-cost minions? So let's look. Shaman. So Shaman is a vanilla 5/5, vanilla 4/5, vanilla 5/5, vanilla 5/4. That's a nice one. So out of the Shaman cards, 1 out of 5 is good. Let's see neutrals. AFK wouldn't be the worst to hit because it would buff everything else it summoned. That's a vanilla 4/7. This is nice. 6/3 rush, that's summon stuff. 6/5 rush is nice. Like, most of these are just medium to low stats, right? Leroy's nice. You got the charge. Overlord's okay. You got the rush. This is a rush, but it's a shitty rush. This guy's okay. Talon's okay. Like, there's some really good hits. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's like 25-30% chance to get like a good hit. I don't know. I just feel like I was really underwhelmed with this card when I played it in Arena. And I going into, like, when I drafted this card in Arena, I was like, GG, 12 win run, guys. Like, I got it. And it was not good. I don't know. But maybe I just had bad luck. I don't know. We'll have to see. Zenny summon 4 Leroys. There's gonna be a Trollden clip where someone plays this and summons a bunch of Leroys, 100%. But as you said, RNG plus the condition, and it's expensive. Yeah, I think 3 is fine. 3 even could be a little generous here. 70% of the time, you'll just get a 5/5 or worse. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? You're playing the 7 mana spell or 7 mana card that it fills your board with a bunch of things that just do nothing. Like, it's essentially just a bunch of bodies that don't do anything, and then your opponent just wipes them the next turn. So who cares, right? Yes, there's the high roll aspect, but I don't know. The closest card you can compare this to is the mage one. Was it 7 mana? Yeah, the closest card you can compare this to is like Elemental Inspiration, because this is what I thought it'd be like. Elemental Inspiration is a pretty good card, and I thought it would be kind of comparable to that, but it's so much worse, I think. Like, you know, most of the keywords you can get off this are pretty decent. Divine Shield's nice, Rush is nice, Poisonous, Stealth, Wind Fury, Lifesteal. Like, most of these are nice. There's just so many worse things you can get with this. So I rated a 3, and you guys rated a 3.5. Very split, though. There's some 1s, some 3s, some 5s. So this is one card I'm very curious to follow up on. As, yeah, I could go either way, I guess. Frosty Decor. 5 mana spell, summon 2 2/4 elementals with taunt and death rattle, gain 4 armor. This card's like right up my alley, you know. Also, Michael Bailey, AFK is a random 5 cost. Yeah, AFK is a decent hit, actually, off of that card, because it would buff everything else it spawned, right? It's like the one time AFK is not shit. But Frost Decor, I like playing slow control, value-oriented decks, which this is great. You know, I feel like Reno Shaman, I'm playing this 100%. In a Spell School Shaman, I'm sure you'd play this too. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, Frosty Decor gives Highlander Shaman vibes. I agree. It's just like a solid card. And at least for like my vibe, right? For the types of decks I like to play, I love this effect. It's 2 taunts and it's armor. Like, I might be overestimating this card, but I'm going to give it a 4. But you guys were pretty close, though. You guys rated this a 3.5. Actually, you guys are all over the place. There are some bunch of 2s, a bunch of 4s, and a couple 5s. So people a little split on this card, but I like it, though. It's a little similar to Cold Case from Mage, but it's a little worse. Like Cold Case, you get the armor immediately, and the death rattle is good. This is more armor and more stats, but it's delayed. But yeah, I like it. So overall Shaman rating. Let's see here. What really stands out to me? Caress is cool. Cabaret Headliner's good. Drink's good. Oh, there's a bunch of bad cards here, actually. I think I might give Shaman a 2. There's a bunch of, like, either bad or just very RNG cards here. The standouts are, like, Caress, Cabaret Headliner, the Drink. That's it, really. And the Frosty Decor, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna go give it 2. I think it's one of the weaker classes we've looked at so far. And you guys are a little on the lower end too. You guys rated at 2.8. The good thing about this expansion is that all classes got good cards. I agree. I think even like Shaman, right? Overall, I don't think Shaman is great, but it still got some cool, good cards. I think Caress is very, very unique and very cool. Cabaret Headliner is amazing for any kind of spell school deck. This is good for like a nature shaman, like spell damage shaman. What else do we got here? Frosty Decor, slower shaman deck. Who knows? Maybe Razzle Dazzler will be good. I'm just not sold on it now. So that's where I'm at there. So I have 2 classes left. All right, let's see if I can cruise through these 2 quick, and then we'll finish up the neutrals tomorrow. we got Warlock cards. They can also be used by Rogue, Party Fiend, 1 mana 1/1, Battlecry, summon 2 1/1 Fell Beast, deal 3 damage to your hero. I think this is pretty good. 1 mana 3/3. Most Warlock decks, you don't care about the 3 damage to your hero, or you want the 3 damage to your hero. Yeah, I like it. 1 mana 3/3, pretty nice. You guys rated a 4.3, so you guys are very up on this card as well. I think we'll be seeing this card a lot. You'll open stream tomorrow before the expansion launches. Yeah, let me double check when it launches. It's either 12 or 1 p.m. I think it's usually, I don't know if it depends on time zone or like a daylight savings. I feel like it's usually, oh, it's 1 p.m. So what I'll do is I'm going to go live at 12, and from 12 to 1, I'll rate the neutral cards. We'll just chat and hang out. And then at 1, the expansion launches. I will open all my packs, and then we'll get brewing. And yeah. And I'll also tomorrow and all week, I'll be taking viewer ideas, viewer decks. So if you have a certain card you want to see me build a deck around, or you want to see me play, go ahead and suggest it. If you put together a deck you want to see me play, go ahead and post the deck code. I'll probably be dividing it up where half the week I'll be playing decks like I put together and I want to play, and then the other half I'll also be playing, you know, decks you guys give me and decks you guys want to see played. So yeah, if there's certain things, if there's certain cards or decks you want to see me play, go ahead and throw it out there. And hey Zarfang, how's it going? But yeah, so that's the plan, Zenny. I'll go live an hour before the expansion launches, finish up the reviews, and then we'll just chill, open packs, and go from there. But yeah, Party Fiend, very good card. And Curse Souvenir, 2 mana spell, give a minion +3/+3, and at the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to your hero. Kind of mixed on this card. Louise, open packs like 1x1 or 40x40. That's a good question. I usually go 1x1, but I go through them pretty quick. You know, you got like some people open packs and they'll like hover over each card and see the rarity before they open them. I'm not doing that shit. I'm just gonna click, open, click. So I'll probably go through them one at a time, but I'll go through them pretty quick. Also, Zarfang, it's going good. I'm new to this game, just stopping by. Oh, nice. Did you like just start playing? Like, how recent you talking? How new are we? Because you picked a good time to get into the game. It's always nice when a new expansion launches. Zenny will have 100 packs to open tomorrow. I will have... How much will I have? Let me check. I think I'll have like 120. So I have 60 from the pre-order, 5 from like Twitch drops or rank rewards, something like that. And then I have 56 here. So yeah, I'll have about 120 packs to open tomorrow. Which, once again, if I don't open a signature, I'm going to be pissed. I have not opened a signature in 3 expansions now. And actually, for anyone who's heard of the program like Firestone before, it's kind of like the Hearthstone like deck tracker. Firestone lets you see exactly how many packs you've opened of each expansion. And I'm going to check that out tomorrow because I want to see exactly how many packs I've opened without a signature. Because I think it's around 500 packs. I open around 150 packs, 180 packs per expansion, and I haven't opened a signature in 3 expansions now. So I think I've opened around 500 packs without a signature. I think I misspoke. I've opened around 500 packs without a signature now. And I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. They should either I have insanely bad luck or like they shouldn't be that rare. That's crazy to me. Also, Louise, I only did that when I had like 1 pack each day. Getting 100 packs would take a day. It goes pretty quick. Like I said, you can open the packs pretty quick. If you just click. Zenny will still open them one by one. Yeah, you got to enjoy it. You know, I think stacking the packs and just opening them all in one go. It's not as fun or entertaining. Just drop $50. Yeah, you're right. All I have to do is spend $50 on Signature Genin Baku. Ridiculous. Louise, 1 by 1 is fine. Just hover and look slowly like that isn't possible for 100 packs. Yeah, if I open like a couple packs, you know, I will hover over them and see the rarity before I open them, like, because that's fun. But for 100 plus packs, that's way too slow. I'll sit there for 2+ hours opening the packs, which I'm not going to do with you guys. Also, Zenny, I only opened 1 signature and it was Cage Head. Oh, and you disenchanted it. Oh, man. So I've opened, let me check. I think I've opened, come on. Blizzard's like, you're not getting out. You got to buy something. Come on. Oh, now I can't even click out of here. Yeah, you must buy something to close the shop. All right, I don't know what's going on here. Here, let me relaunch the game. God. Oh, it's a known bug, Zenny? Shop bug? Great. Perfect timing for a shop bug, right before an expansion launch, eh? And Zarfang, no, I'm new, like fresh new. Oh, well, like I said, it's a very good time to get into the game, considering a new expansion's launching tomorrow. So... because, you know, when new expansions launch, people are like trying new decks and experimenting, and they usually have like a bunch of like free stuff to give away. So it's a perfect time to get into the game. All right. So yeah, I've either opened 2 or 3 signatures ever, I believe. Let me double check. So let's see. Hopefully the game doesn't break again. Okay. So this was given away for free. Yeah, I opened Rawmyth from the first, you know, signatures, which is a bit of a bummer because these signatures look like shit. I've only opened a couple of signatures and one of them was these, but at least this card I played this card a lot. So on the bright side, these signatures kind of look like crap, but I played this card the entire time it was in standard, so it got, you know, used. Inza is the other one I've opened. I have not played this card once. It's not a very good card, and I don't really like Overload Shaman much. And I think that's it. All these were free. Yeah, that's it. So all I've opened is Rameth in March of the Lich King, which let me look at the order here. Yeah, so March of the Lich King came out. And then Festival Legends, I opened Inza. And then since then, nothing. So Titans, Badlands, Whizbangs, I did not open a single signature. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I've opened like 500 packs between those 3 sets. So fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. 120 packs. Maybe I'll get a signature tomorrow. Also, I've opened like 5 to 10 golden packs per expansion too, and still nothing. What can you do? Zenny, as you know, I'm a DK hater. I'm happy to get to play DK cards on Warlock. I like and don't like Death Knight. I don't like Cockroach Death Knight, but I like normal Death Knight. Louise, I cannot believe they chose a no color style. People complain about Hearthstone being fun and not dark enough, but the art must be colorful. Yeah, like on one hand, I agree that the art has gotten a little goofy lately, and I'm not a fan, but this is also the wrong direction. These were just done so bad. Also, Zarfang signatures are like really rare. Yeah, so I think the average is supposed to be 1 in 150 packs or something. It's like 1 in 100 packs, 1 in 150 packs, something like that. And I just have really bad luck. I just have really bad luck that I haven't opened one in hundreds of packs now. But then they also give away some with like events. Like this Northshire Cleric, they gave away with an event. This Walking Mountain, Void Virtuoso. Some more stuff here. Cowbell, Kobold Miner. Yeah, they give away like a couple of signatures every expansion with like events and stuff like that. But yeah, don't count on opening signatures. And don't go like chasing that high with your wallet. It's not worth it. Zenny, are you posting the pack opening on YouTube? I might not be able to watch it. Yeah, so I multi-stream to YouTube and Twitch. So whenever I stream, it's live on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So yeah, you can either watch me live on YouTube opening the packs, or if it's afterwards, like my VODs are all on YouTube as well. So you got a couple options there. Signatures are also almost exclusive to golden packs. Yeah, I'm curious to see how many golden packs I've opened, because the way I do it is whenever I get all the commons and rares in a set, I start buying golden packs until I get a golden legendary. Because just like in normal packs, you're guaranteed a legendary in your first 10 packs. Golden packs, you're also guaranteed a legendary in your first 10 packs. So sometimes I get lucky and I'll get the golden legendary after like 3 packs or 5 packs, but sometimes it takes 10. But regardless, if it's a golden legendary you don't care about, you can disenchant it and just craft another legendary, right? So yeah, I've probably opened 20, 30 golden packs, and again, no legendary, or no signature still. Zarfang, have to check the pack openings out. Yeah, so I will be live tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time. The expansion goes live at 1 p.m. So I will open the packs, and then we'll build some decks, and then we'll play. And I will be live probably until like 8 p.m. I'll probably stream for 8 hours tomorrow. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I will also be live around like 2 p.m. Eastern time. And I'll probably go for like 6 hours each of those days as well. Yeah, I think I will finish up for today. It's getting kind of late, and I have basically all of Warlock, Warrior, and the neutrals to go. Let me look. Yeah, I'm like 2/3 of the way through. So what I'll do is tomorrow I'll go live at 12. I will finish raiding the Warlock cards, the Warrior cards, and the neutrals. And then by that point, I'm assuming the expansion will be out. And like I said, we'll open packs, we'll build some decks, we'll play. Should be a lot of fun. And hey, hello and good night, Imic. Are you excited for the expansion though? I don't know how much you've checked out the theory crafting streams, but I'm curious, for people who have watched the theory crafting streams, has it made you more or less excited for the expansion? But Zarfang's gonna stop by. Nice. Well, like I said, you picked a perfect time to start playing the game. It's always good. Like the week an expansion comes out, it's always the best time of the game for sure. Imix has less because of Concierge. Yeah, so I haven't watched any of the theory crafting streams because I wanted to go into my ratings blind, essentially. I didn't want my opinions to be influenced by the theory crafting streams, but Concierge is the one card I've heard about because I've seen a bunch of posts on Reddit talking about Concierge, which it's funny because I thought Concierge was going to be strong. When they first announced the card, I thought it'd be strong because, you know, mana cheating is obviously very strong. And with all the cross class stuff, this, you know, can make cards 0 potentially. But apparently it's even better. It's even better than I thought. The fact that this doesn't prevent cards from going to less than 1, that's the problem, I think. Like, so many mana discount cards are broken because they let things go to 0. So many things could be fixed if it just said not less than 1. So maybe we'll have to see. Apparently they're waiting like 3 weeks to do the first balance patch. So we will see if they do any kind of like emergency. We'll see if it's really bad. If Concierge is really bad, we'll see if they either do some kind of like emergency change or if they wait 3 weeks to change the card. We'll have to see. Louise, I missed the original golden packs from Lich King or the Lich expansion. Yeah, there was the golden signature packs from yeah, they had the better chance. Yeah, I don't know why they got rid of those. Also, the pity timer for the signatures is 361. All right, I'm not that close. Also, Louise, what time zone? It's Eastern time. Yep. So I usually go live at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be going live at 12 p.m. So whatever time I usually go live at, just minus 6 hours. That's when I'll be going live tomorrow. Oh, is it 2 weeks they'll be doing the patch? Oh, okay. I thought I read 3, but hopefully it's 2 weeks. Because it sounds like there's going to be a couple problem cards already. But yeah, I think that will be it for me. It took me longer than I expected to rate these cards. So what I'll do is tomorrow, like I said, I'll go live at 12. I will finish rating the Warlock cards, the Warrior cards, and the neutrals. And then by that time, the expansion should come out. So I'll open the packs, we'll build some decks, and we'll have some fun. We'll try out some goofy cards. There's a lot of goofy cards I'm excited to play with. Insidious is one of the first cards I want to play with. What else we got? Death Knight, nothing super jumps out to me. Hydration Station. I want to do some Hydration Station bullshit. What else? Maybe like a Spell Damage Druid. Priest is getting some fun cards I'm excited about. Maestra. I'm very, very excited for Maestra. Ouroboros. I'm excited for. You guys are making me much more interested in the Rye Cleaver. I was very low on this card. You guys keep talking it up. So maybe I'll have to play with that one as well. But yeah, there's a lot of cards, there's so many like build around cards in this set that I'm very excited for. So yeah. So tomorrow's the day. Kind of feels like the night before Christmas. Louise just banned at day 2. I'm very curious if there would be any kind of like emergency banning if it ends up being that strong. We just need to have faith that some broken aggro could beat Druid faster and more consistent. Hope you review them all on time. Yeah, I might have to speed run the neutrals. We'll have to see. And Amalgam will be fun. Amalgam is also a very cool card. I like Kingsbane, and it's got some like Kingsbane vibes going on. I just think there's so many cards, like so many individual cards in this set that make me want to build decks around them, which is great. Like Octomasseuse is another one. Octomasseuse like seems like could be some cool fun combos. There's just a lot of neat cards. So I think there's going to be no shortage of like deck ideas for me in the next few weeks to come. But yeah, that will be it for me though. I got to get some sleep. Tomorrow will be a long day. I'll probably be streaming for 8 hours tomorrow. I'm going to be trying to release like multiple videos a day. Going to be like, you know, some of the fun decks I play, I'll be releasing videos for. I've been slacking on my YouTube game recently. I was on vacation and then I've kind of just been lazy the last week, but I'll get back in the groove this week and start putting stuff on YouTube again. But other than that, yeah, thanks you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If not, hopefully I'll see you this week. I'll be live every day. And to my European viewers, like I said, I'll be live early. So hopefully you can watch me with the sun up and not at 3 a.m. But other than that, yeah, hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow or later this week. And yeah, take care.